Welcome in, everyone. As always, we are in a new game, and therefore sound check is the start of the show. But this is Windy Meadows, a Roadwarden story by the same company that did Roadwarden. So this is a flashback to my early days as a streamer. So Moral Anxiety Studios, along with Assemble Entertainment, put this together in 2023. And I grabbed it a little while ago and figured we would go into it. So, I am going into this fairly blind. But sound check, can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? Let's figure out the levels here while we have a moment. And check out the map. So, we have, thanks to the city's protection, the eastern woods are quite safe still. Every now and then a wild beast manages to get one of us. This is where we honor our dead. Even though we don't collect their ashes, we built this cemetery behind an old dolmen, one of many remains of the ancient tribe that used to live in this area centuries back. The cabin's built by the lumberjacks from the city. They've cut quite a few trees already, so we need to lay low for a few years, letting nature form a new balance. Faint touch of music. How's the music now? Because I hear the music quite well, but the volume level for you guys is always variable. So, for our prayers, we gather at the house of Vates, our priest, and Fable, his ward. Whenever the autumn fogs start to fill up the area, Vates moves back behind the village walls. Every winter, we leave the building to itself. The old mill, waiting for parts ever since it was damaged during the last troll attack. We pile our trash next to it, from time to time covering it with dirt. The house of the hunters and their many children. They set up all sorts of traps in the eastern forest and around our walls, teaching the beasts to keep their distance. The house of Temnus and Relega, the most unfortunate farmers in our village ever since they lost their flock to sickness. They're too old now to turn their luck around, and they'll soon move inside the village walls. Inuzaku! Bork, bork, bork indeed. Hello, how are you? How is life? We're just checking out things while I deal with sound check. So let me know if anything is too soft or too loud. The newest building in the village and the house of Nalia, a retired mercenary. Despite her age, she insists on living beyond the walls. She rarely invites guests. Arada's pasture. Her wealthy family looks after their flock of sheep, as well as a few noble griffins. But all of her children have already left the village. Ooh. The cabin, Salvia and Lucia, the keepers of our forest garden. As our herbalists, they conduct rituals that calm the local beasts. And they live out in the woods. The ponds in our forest garden are rather dirty, but also essential for the well-being of the trees and wild animals, collecting water from the soil. It's also where we catch frogs and occasionally birds. Waiting for college to return? Well, may it return soon. I mean, it is the end of July. Thank you for letting me know that the audio is good. I will be doing a lot of reading for this game, just FYI. The old cabin in our forest garden, it used to be a hut for travelers and hunters, but became a bit too rotten. The ruins of the watchtower, a building that's even older than Windy Meadow. It's now occupied by Limos, the fisher who catches food for us in the Pearl River and the Shining Stream. The hut for field workers, we built it only recently and are still waiting to see if local beasts will spare it. This is the house of Victus, the eldest son of the hunters, who's now a private guard. Unfortunately, his own family wasn't able to grow much, and he'll likely waive his right to this spot. The renovated summer residence of a rich city folk, recently purchased by Ivolo the merchant, one of the largest and most luxurious buildings in the village. It even has its own baking oven, though no one really uses it. 2 weeks! 2 weeks and counting! Awesome. The house of Costas and Mita, the richest farmers in the village. Their crops remain in the village, while their cider and mead is sold to the city folk. Nice. The workshop and house of Calor, our blacksmith, and his 2 pupils. The building is a bit stuffy, but it's sturdy and able to survive any accidents, which is good if you're a blacksmith. The stronghold was built by the city folk as part of the tax deal they established with the first settlers. It's not too cozy, but it allows us to hide from beasts in bad weather. A humble bathhouse and sauna. Since the streams are too dangerous to swim in, we wash ourselves here. The mayor's house, currently occupied by Lacerta. She was born here, but spent a few years in the city where she formed many connections. Most of the rooms are empty, waiting for rich travelers. Our inn, Tasty Claw, is run by Stabulus, a young but charming worker from the city. It's got the largest chamber in the village, so we use it both for the evening rest and for more official gatherings. The carpentry workshop. The noises can get a bit overwhelming, but since the animals and other than the beaver folk aren't too interested in stealing our timber, we keep it behind the walls. The main square is useful for festivities and the rarer days when we welcome the caravans. We often exchange gossip by the well in the shadow of the statue. The big apple tree, planted by the second generation of settlers, it will soon cease to bear fruit, the perfect drinking spot during summer sunny days. The warehouse where we store our less valuable goods and supplies. This is where we look after those of us who can't take care of themselves. Even though it's clean and has glass windows, some say it's haunted by the spirits of dead elders. I think... we lack strong fighters to patrol the entire area, so some of our houses are outside the village. In times of crisis, we all hide behind the walls, especially in winter. I think that's everything. Oh. A large shed for farming tools, as well as spare wheels or for carts. Also a hideout for the workers during the Saurian attacks from the Pearl River. The spot from which we send wares to the city by barge. Current is too strong for us to bring any heavy supplies back the same way. The village council insists that we have only one bridge between the village and the forest garden, so we can destroy it easily if necessary. No, we've done that one. The southern fields are close to the woods and therefore more dangerous. Even if very fertile, they belong to the poorer families. We've done the woods here. This distant pond is shallow and clean, and is used to teach the children how to swim away from the more saurian beset streams. We have fun here during the hot summer days. The border between the southern edge of our forest garden and the wild woods is blurry. We rely on the rituals of our herbalists to keep it somewhat safe. Our forest garden took generations to reach its current state. It provides us with mushrooms, eggs, fruit, greens, herbs, and sticks. All very important things. The northern fields are old and no longer that fertile, but they're easier to work on. They belong to our richest families. I think... So far no one has found the Shining Stream's spring, but its water is delightfully cold and clear. So the spring is up this way somewhere. That flows down to the river. The Pearl River runs all the way from this to the city Bertus, meaning through dark woods and passing by 5 other villages. Alright, I think I found it all. Let us start a new story. Hey Fen, welcome in. I adore you as well. We are just getting into Windy Meadow, a Roadwarden story. This is a callback to my earliest days as a streamer, where we played the Roadwarden, and it was a really great game. We all loved it. I actually probably should turn on... one of my earliest channel point things. Let's see here. Yes, Sauron's Truth. Is one of the very earliest of my channel point options as well from the Roadwarden. It is Sauron was the name of our Roadwarden back in the day. So now that I have turned that on, everyone can tell me to tell the truth and save the frickin' game. Let's get into a new story. Would you like to play through the tutorial first? It's very recommended for first-time players. Sure, we'll do the tutorial. Let's see if the tutorial's good. To continue, click the left mouse button anywhere within the constraints of the white border. Pressing the left mouse button will also speed up the game. You can try it soon to skip a black screen. Usually the game gives you unlimited time to read, but not always. Uh-oh. If you skip anything by accident, use the mouse wheel to roll back. Or use the archive to reread the most recent text. You can find it in the menu. Press the right mouse button or escape to open it. In some cases, you'll need to make a choice tied to your character. You'll see an example now. The game won't move forward until you press an option with left mouse button. You want me to decide? Tell me more. I can see I have the choices listed down here. Hi, bye, Jolly. I think I got it. Tell me more. I mean, you kind of made a choice already. I think I've got it then. Well done. Most people you talk to have their text aligned to the right side of the screen. The same goes for their portraits. So we're talking to Nalia. Your character, on the other hand, will be presented on the left side of the screen. If you'd rather keep the entire text aligned to the left, select it in the game settings. I don't mind it having the back and forth. I don't understand. Crazed Mad Play like, oh, Trav, you're funny. No, the little old lady, Nalia, is talking to us. This is why all of the text is shifted to the left, or I'm sorry, to the right, because Nalia is talking to us. Yeah. So it's like, I can flip them about if it bothers anyone, but I don't mind. The listening characters have much darker portraits, like here. So this is her listening, and this is her talking. Now it makes sense. By seeing which side it's lined up, you can actually see which person is talking. Yep, exactly. My name just became yellow, so you can point at it with your mouse to see a short description of who I am. So that is the clue that you have hover over stuff. A once famous mercenary and adventurer, she moved to Windy Meadow from the city. A year has passed, but so far, being away from home hasn't helped her bury any of her regrets. You can also point to other yellow words. Maybe you'll want to learn more about dragon bones. Coin used by the 10 cities, the major power set in the north. These small hollow rings are made of real dragon bones. Yep, we know about that from the original Roadwarden, where that was also the currency. Or maybe you want to learn more about Vates, my distant relative. I used to teach him how to handle a sword, and after spending a few years as a Roadwarden, he became the local priest. He's the person I should thank for dragging me into this boring village. And if some unusual description stays on the screen for longer than you'd like, just press it with the left mouse button to close it. I didn't even read what it said. If your mouse is pointing at the buttons, using left mouse button will press them instead of progressing the game, unless they're gray. So we can look at the map, which we've already seen. We can look at the codex. So these are the various places. Windy Meadow started as a woodcutting hamlet, soon followed by construction of the stone watchtower, and then the now gone roadside inn. 4 generations ago, the first settlers arrived, slowly but surely taming the gentle area. The village is protected by and loyal to the city of Bertus and produces crops, wool, parchment, and mead. It's known for its vast forest garden on the west bank and for its unusually sweet apples. And then the 2 things that we learned. Here is the archive. Here is the save. And we return. And then here is the quick save menu and the quick load menu, the back button, forward button. Very nice. Whenever you visit a new place, this small animation will remind you to open the map. Press the marked icon to see where you are at any given time and to read the area's unique description. We did most of the reading of the descriptions before we even got into the game because I was curious. Oh, cool. Let's kill all the dragons. Yeah, well. So what does the extension do for this game, or do we know? I don't know. I do not know at all. I suppose I could look to see what the official description says. Oh, King of the Castle is not at all linked to this game, I think. Yeah. It's flying money, man. Gotta farm those dragons. Those silly kingdoms over there that use bits of metal. We raise our money in caves and have spare dragon hide and meat too. Yeah, exactly. This box allows you to enter the menu. It also reveals a few additional buttons. Sure does. This button opens the codex. Okay. Return. Return. In this tutorial, it's rather empty, but will soon contain the descriptions of all the game's characters and more. Just like the mouse wheel, the right button here rolls back the game while the left one speeds it up. By default, you won't be able to skip the parts of the game that you haven't seen yet. You can change this in the game settings. And these two buttons help you save and load the game quickly. This game also uses autosaves at the start of each day, and you can open the manual saves from the menu. You can also press F1 to learn more about the keyboard controls, or press the controls button you can find in the settings, just in case you needed alternative ways of finding those controls. Now you know all the basics. Have a good time. Alright, so we must, we've played the tutorial. We must select a character. We are automatically on Vina the Huntress, but there's also, oh, looks like they're grayed out. So we have to play each story one at a time. So Vina the Huntress, Fable the Storyteller, or Lucidia, whose chapter is locked, and somebody else. All right, let's get into it. King of the Castle isn't linked, it's just screen clutter. I never understood why. Well, I do have a game called King of the Castle, but we aren't playing it because we don't really have enough active players on the regular to play it, is the problem. So I have it there, and you know, if you don't have your mouse on the screen itself, you basically won't really notice it. I suppose I could turn it off for you guys if it's really bothering you. But yeah, it's a game that I just don't have enough active people in chat to play. It's kind of a group effort. Last evening, since when do you have this many patrons, Stabs? The news of Vina's death have reached the city. The merchants want to hire her. Oh, I'm sorry, Vina's deeds, not death. Haha, I can read. Her deeds have reached the city. The merchants want to hire her. Deeds? I don't recall. But I told you already, What a loud bunch. I think I'll take the bottle back home. What else is new, ma'am? It's been an hour since you joined the merchants at the table. Keeping your back straight for so long starts to wear on you, but you were told only to speak when spoken to. You observed the others, but you can't follow their prattle. Something about a missing ship from the Far East, and a new spice that everyone just needs to try, even though it's as expensive as a sheep. We are in the inn, by the way. The Tasty Claw. They summarized how you defeated those trolls from last autumn right at the start, but since then they've pretty much been ignoring you. Yeah, we are playing Vina, just if you hadn't noticed. This is us. So would we rather hang out with our friends? The longer I'm here, the easier it's going to get, or do the city folk treat all their employees this way? What do we want to decide? How do we feel in this situation? These merchants have come to town. They want to hire us, or have hired us, I guess, because we killed some trolls, pretty heroically, I guess. And now that they've all turned to the gossip of their own, they just are ignoring us. I think I'd rather hang out with my friends, to be honest. You were supposed to meet at the large rock behind the Pearl River. A slow, nice evening, even if not a very exciting one. So, Vina, how's your beer? You cast a quick glance at your dad. My dad's a hero, the best hunter in the realm, no matter what anyone says. Who manages to stay in control, as always. Why can't you be that confident? I'd prefer some cider, actually. I'd rather have some cider, to be frank. And you couldn't say so sooner. You'd better learn how to speak for yourself before you reach the city. Bertrus offers everything one may desire. Alehouses, meads, spices, music, acrobats, gambling, fancy clothes, bright nights. It's a different world. Don't encourage her. In Bertus, it's better to drink a crappy beer than insult a merchant. Our mayor. Lacerta the mayor. She keeps calm no matter what's going on. She's a good friend to my father, though they usually talk about trade and work or their plans for the next season. She was also raised in Windy Meadow, but spent over a decade in the city working as a clerk for the Merchant Guild. She's just being polite, Ivolo. Argentia, the richest merchant to visit Windy Meadow. She leads caravans through the woods, fighting beasts with the magic of wind and light. She's offered me a job in the city. Your girl has potential, Latro. She follows in your footsteps. Kind words, but you'd struggle to find a hunter who could match her talent. She's not even 20. Leading the trolls into the swamp was quite a plan. Our Fable put together a song about her bravery. Ever since I started assisting my father, Fable and I have been drifting apart, but we used to spend a lot of time together as kids. He always had some scary or funny stories for us, and used to say he saw them in his dreams. Our Fable? You've grown quite comfortable with your new home. Maybe, in a way. Let's not jump ahead. Nothing's been decided yet. But it's a great opportunity. Don't you want to leave the nest, darling? Do we want to go, or do we want to stay? What do we think, chat? I'll let you weigh in. I mean, I'm still going to push the buttons at the end of the day, but... I don't know. I don't know anything about the city except for what the mayor has said. So here's us, the mayor, our dad, the merchants from the city. This one's the rich one. The bartender and the old mercenary. Yeah, I don't know. She'll think about it after you tell us the author. Argentina knows the details, but from what I've heard, the guild in Bertrus can reward Venus' talent generously. It's not that intricate. We can always find a job for a gifted warrior. What kind of job? You'd start as a guard at a store, or maybe a warehouse, learn more about the city, then become my personal defender. Prove yourself, and once I get the chance, I'll whisper your name to the larger players. All you need is strength and ambition. Keep going the extra mile, and you'll end up as a commander or overseer, or overseeing our caravans and ships. You could work as a Roadwarden for a year or 5, too. A life of wealth and adventure, then a quick retirement. Especially if you were to join the guild as an investor. As you can see, such a life has treated us fairly well. Don't tell me it's not a tempting opportunity. Well, does the village have everything I need? Is living in the city rough? Or do I think that the people at home need me here? You know, to deal with the trolls. This is the start of our grand adventure. Are we a homebody? Are we up for adventure? What do we think, guys? My people need me for I am the night. Okay, Darkwing Duck. Or, you know, Batman. I heard that living in the city can be rough. Some city folk hate their home. Ivolo moved here, right? To rest from the noise and the stench, and he's rich. I'm the exception, not the rule. If I were in your position, I'd not only refuse this invitation, I'd also hide my spear in the basement and drop this hunting business altogether. I'd rather be a farmer. But I already had a life of luxury and worries, just like my parents before me, and they flourished in it. My dream was to live away from all the commotion. I'm lucky to get a chance to do so. Most people won't. But you are not a quiet, frightened weakling like I was when I was your age. You can handle living in Burgess. Don't be so dramatic. Living behind the city walls is much easier than in the countryside. At least our food doesn't try to eat us first. I am the peasant who sleeps in the night. That was her dad, yes. People need me here. I don't know. Our mom is sick. Preddy's a master of crossbows and traps. It hurts me to see how her illness keeps her in bed. It's been 3 years already. She may never be strong enough to return to the wilderness. Dad's our very last hunter. Victus needs my help with Emira. My older brother never wanted to be a hunter, but the training he got from our parents allowed him to become a village guard. Now he's Ivolo's defender, moving forward despite the troubles he's gone through. Emira, Victus's daughter, my niece, she's been asleep for a few months now. I used to love wandering around the wall with her, telling her about the woods. She looks so silly with my dagger in her small hands. And once autumn comes and the undead show up, what then? We won't be left to ourselves. The merchants know our value. The soldiers from the city are a capable bunch. Your mom and I can rely on your brothers and sisters. I had to think about checking the traps without your aid, but don't burn your future for our sake. Your mother wouldn't forgive herself. Listen to the others, little wolf. The right guides the brave. I'm glad that Dad finds comfort in his talks with priests, but I struggle to pray. Whenever I close my eyes, I think of Victus, Emira, and Mom. Yeah, the right is one of the god beings that are believed in the world of Roadwarden, so I think this place really does need us. Also, metagaming a bit. Isn't this game about the village? It is a little bit, yeah. So, but like, this is the conflict where we have to make decisions. But the village has everything I need. Windy Meadow's a peaceful place. There's food, meat, and work to do. Why would I leave all this behind? One day you may wake up and realize that you're bored, that you crave more than your home has to offer. Journeys, mead, friendships. Better hope it won't be too late for you already. I used to be in exactly the same position, you know. A young sorceress appreciated for her talent with many open doors. I kept asking myself, what do I really want? And I found the answer. I wanted it all. All the best things that coin can buy. I spent each free moment mastering the spells of wind and light, working with adventurers, dealing with beasts. Once I came to the city, I had a reputation to my name. And I knew my worth. I reached for the very top, assisting the guild's caravans, taking their most dangerous routes, until I could look the guild masters in the eyes and demand what I wanted, and they couldn't refuse. The sounds of a trader luring someone into taking a deal, how I don't miss it. I don't mind listening to a master speaking about their craft. So, Argentina, you're going to visit us again in 15 days, am I right? With the wedding supplies? Looks like it. I won't be traveling in this direction again until the end of summer. That's when we'll give you our final answer. Will you use a ferry boat or a cart? I have yet to decide. Just be sure to have space for a passenger. Deal? I'll figure something out, like always. Don't you worry. So we have 15 days until this opportunity becomes the eventuality. All right, where are we? We are in the East Woods. The woods in the east turn dangerous quickly, and for the most part, only me and my dad have a reason to enter them. Recently, the lumberjacks have started to widen our clearings, letting in a bit more light. I'm a patient soul, but we're going to discuss your future sooner or later, pup. I don't know what I want. That's the problem. You don't need to know to make a good choice. Dad, I think I need more time. I need time to think, that's all. There's no rush. But there is. Taking Argentina's offer would take some planning. You'll need new clothes, a traveling chest, a blanket, and we should visit your cousins. That's another one-day trip. I'm sure your mother would sleep better knowing what to expect. That's just emotional blackmail right there. The knot you used here ain't right. Once you lose control of the spearhead, the beast will break your neck in an instant. Just use the one I taught you, little wolf. I wanted to try something new, or your knot is awkward. I wanted to try something new. I learned quite a few knots from Limos, who is, before he started using nets, traps, and fishing rods to catch food in the rivers, he was using spears and bows to hunt for saurians and large fish. His zeal has been weakened ever since he lost his foot, but his new methods turned out to be more efficient anyway. They're easier to use. Fishermen ain't real hunters. Don't put yourself in danger. I've been roaming these woods for 20 years. You can trust me, or at least consult me first. Your knot is awkward. Do I tell him that it's not as awkward, or do I apologize? Because he is my dad. What do we think, guys? Tell that to the dwarves and their countless fishers who have fallen in battle against the dreaded carp. Your dwarf fortress references are appreciated, Trav. And those bloody carp. Oh my god. We do have an ad coming in about a minute for those. That's still relevant too. Just FYI. Apologize. The guy's got more experience. I'm going to assume that he knows more than we do. Alright. Won't happen again. You know I want what's best for you. This is the only knot you'll ever need. Trust me. I'm too tired out to carry our prey now. Let's have a talk. What about scavengers? The runners will catch the scent soon. And yet it's so quiet here. It may be spring, but we should have at least seen a few larger beasts by now. Oh, you want us to stay here for long? I've got plans for the evening. Do you now? Well, then I guess you're just too busy. But since I've caught your attention... I always listen to you, Dad. Don't be like that. I always listen to you. Let's discuss what's going on. The trolls. When did they show up? First days of autumn. That's when old Salvia warned me that they never stop their hunt. She's a wise and selfless herbalist. Every 10 days, the village prepares gift baskets for her, and we sometimes bring her fresh meals as well. She may not be too kind, but she's irreplaceable. I hope Lucidia does her best learning her craft. I can turn the land into a wasteland. I'm glad you remember. The way you took care of them was impressive. Don't get me wrong, but now I've grown more and more convinced that even that was too late. They changed the forest already? Last year we used to simply leave the house and look for wild game. Now we're forced to set traps, use bait, look for rats and squirrels. At least there are more hares around. But the larger creatures were either caught or chased away by the trolls. Well, fewer beasts means more rats and birds, so fewer mushrooms, nuts, fruits, and flies. And Limos told me there are more fish in the stream. Everything connects. You know where I'm going with this. You want me to leave? We need to stop hunting, or just tell me. A hydrate? Thank you, Winter Fairy, for the hydrate. I am hydrating. I am sadly out of my coffee, but the water is still good. We need to stop hunting. We can't hunt anymore. We'll lure beasts into the forest, let them settle around. Yes, and give them as much space as they require. We may push some of them away from the fields, but that's it. For at least a year, the forest needs some new breath. What about the forest garden? Should we open it to the predators? I had talked with Cydia, old Salvia's pupil. A few years after her birth, her parents lost their flock of sheep to a plague. They had to look after the younger child, Firma, and since Lucidia has always been the weird kid, they asked Salvia to take her. Her eyes may be absent, but without her help, I'd have lost my eye to a werebadger. I'm happy to prepare gift baskets for her. We'll limit ourselves to startling them instead of killing them. The garden is crucial for us, more important than any wild game. But we ain't some armed numbskulls. A good hunter can do many things, and Lacerta would allow us to join the guards for a few seasons. I won't spend my days sitting in the inn. So, we're gonna be fine? There's one more obstacle, but enough. That's enough loitering around. Let's pull out our boar while it's still sunny. It's a tiresome task. The ropes are secured to one of the trees, stopping the boar from falling. To pull it out, we'll have to fight for every inch. Holy shit, it's heavy. Language. Still, it's all muscle. A fine beast to end our current path with. Will it taste good after smoking? I ain't sure. Boar meat can be treacherous. Now, let's pray. Of course. Praise be to the right for the years we have received, for the walls that guard us, for our strong limbs and sharp senses, and the gentle weather. We humbly welcome the tastes of your creation. Help us spread your meat wisely in our family, and among our friends, and help us sell the tusks and bones to the city folk. We'll share what you give us with Vates, your servant, to prove to you that we're ready to leave everything behind, if such is your will. So be it. No, we know this too well. So be it. I wish I could pray as gracefully as the priests, shameful being a soul of simple words. You're doing a great job, Dad. Don't worry, it's about having an honest heart, right? I guess. But remember how my father started to forget words and names once his hair got gray, until he lost the gift of speech? Our family ought to squeeze out everything we can, eat with each year we get. Now, before we head back home, take a look here. A smooth stick with blood on this end? It's a spear. A goblin found a thin branch and sharpened it with a rock. After all, no undead would have a reason to attack a wild beast, and no other creature would wield a weapon in combat. So, it came here to stab the boar? Touch the blood, it's fresh. Goblins found the boar after it fell in the hole. They tried to jab it, but didn't stick around. The grass here is trampled, but I see no footprints. They could be slim from hunger, and that means desperate? They took down a boar with just 2 people, no dogs and no boar spears. That hunter must be incredibly good. No, he set a pit trap. They had to pull this corpse out of a pit trap. Trav. I'm proud of you, little wolf. You do just fine in the city. But goblins are bad news. Best case scenario, they're going to keep our tribe away from the woods, but who can be sure they won't attack the farmers or snatch our kids over the wall? Let's head back and warn the workers. This monster will fill up a whole wagon. We've got a long day ahead. Looks like we're in the town square. Yep. I come to the square whenever anything unusual occurs, or there's nothing better to do, so quite often. The third may be the second largest game we've ever caught. Wonder how it got here. Good thing you didn't have to fight it. Hostia, my younger sister, people gossip about her antics, but when I'm with her, she's thoughtful and quiet. She wants to be a huntress, but for some reason, I'm the one she keeps asking for advice. She should spend more time with our dad. We wouldn't attack it even if we got the chance, not without old Salvia's blinding dust. But Dad used to fight such monsters when I was still little. Because Mom was at his side. She'd hit a charging beast right in the eyes. She'll show you once she starts walking again. What's all this about a goblin tribe you found? Just the marks and footprints. Victus told me they're just big, cunning monkeys? To me, they're small, furry people on paws. Can they be lured into a trap, or will you scare them away like you did with the trolls? Dad's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. Will you get rid of them before you leave us? What do we say? I may stay in Windy Meadow for good. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Or I'm not leaving you. I'll visit. I remember actual monkeys being pretty damn dangerous. Yeah, the actual monkeys were more dangerous than the freaking goblins. Oh my god, they kicked our asses so much on Roadwarden. Don't worry, Trav, why do you always give me the option I don't actually have a button for? Huh? You can crown yourself king of the vote if you want to. I won't stop you, but I don't have that button. See, there's no fourth option. Quit petting the corpse unless you're gonna wash your hands later. My god. I may stay in Windy Meadow for good. I don't know what to think of the city. Part of me wants to stay here. Dad says you'll leave for sure, that there's nothing waiting for you here. Dad says many things, but the choice is mine. Don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll find a way to get rid of them. I ain't afraid. Want to help you. The tribe's gonna stand together. We lack magic, yet we're able to outsmart the trolls. We can handle some goblins. And besides, I'm not leaving you. I'll visit. I ain't gonna leave you. I'll visit you each spring. I always thought you'd be here to see me on my first hunt. Me too. I want to be there. You know I would. Goblins, gargoyles, dragons won't hide in the stronghold like some old lady, no matter what's coming for us. I'm a better fighter than most folks here. A spear woman. A spear girl, maybe. Still, it ain't your call. Dad or Lacerta will ask you once they need your help. But I'm ready to fight. Just need a chance to prove it. You've got to listen to Dad. Raptor Squeak, hi, welcome in. How you doing, man? The city's dirty and icky. I'm sure there's some good things there somewhere if you're rich. Yeah, if you're rich. You've got to listen to Dad. When we face trouble, we need to follow orders. All of us. It hurts to wait, but patience is the hunter's sharpest weapon. Think of it as part of your training. I'm happy for you, you know? How come? You've got this job offer and you're gonna be rich. I don't even know what I want. Mm-hmm. Being rich doesn't mean much to me. I think... But all the merchants say Bertrus is a busy place with soft beds, all sorts of food and drinks and colors and loud streets and all these bards and acrobats. And Windy Meadow, it's always the same. Oats with milk, same cider, cold winters, no music, no young men to have a walk with. Yeah, that's the worst part, is not being able to date anybody. I'm a happy man today. I had a mundane success yesterday. Made my best iteration of one of my dishes yesterday. That's fantastic, Rector Squeak. What dish did you make? What is now your new best dish? Because clearly, if it's the best iteration of it, must be your new best dish. I'd like to have a taste of the city for a season or two, but to spend years there? I don't know. Distant grass is always greener. Can you take the job and bail after you get sick of it? Would be wrong. I don't want to quit unless necessary. Can't play with our tribe's good name. I don't want you to be bored, but... Well... Chicken tinga? Basically chicken thighs with garlic, onion, chipotle peppers, and adobo sauce, mixed spices. That sounds amazing, Raptor. I mean, some of the people in my chat are vegetarians, but I imagine that there is a vegetarian version. Perhaps, Raptor, you'll perfect that version too. You know, for your own vegetarian friends. Yeah, I'd miss you too. Quit petting the boar. Oh my god, you are going to make yourself sick. Petting corpses is not a good idea, unless you know what you're doing. Day 2. Muffled voices reach you from inside. This is the stronghold. Darling, check what they want. Why me? Just open the door. I ain't a recruit. Are you sure you want to argue with us after you dropped your helmet in the river? Periga. While my dad and I roam the woods, the city soldiers patrol our walls and look after the stronghold. Periga enjoys chatting with our neighbors. It's the first village she's ever visited. Brachus. It ain't Brachus's first job, but he doesn't talk much about himself. Answer the bloody door before we cut your pay for the equipment you've borrowed from us. Hello, gal. Something wrong? Firma is a guard born and raised in our village. She's a tough warrior, my favorite training partner. She doesn't like to admit she helped me trick the trolls into leaving our woods, mainly because she wet herself when one of them almost caught her. Still, she was by my side to the very end. Added extra garlic, chipotle, and onion, then added the broth and extras to the shredded chicken instead of making it a salsa this time. I always love how there's always extra options to make your food. Make sure no recipe ever has to get stale to make. I don't cook. That isn't to say that I can't, but I generally just don't for reasons. So I am always rather impressed by people who can cook. So congratulations, Raptor, and I'm glad you found, you know, yet another iteration of one of your favorite dishes. I'm assuming it's a favorite. Not sure yet, but we should talk. Tell me you don't need me to look for that lost ring again. Our dad... We're here in Latro's name. He's examining the forest right now. Come, we've got time for you. Vina and Hostia, right? That's us. I expect the mayor has briefed you already. Only mentioned that we're to prepare the village for the furry shitheads. So, ever fought a tribe of goblins? Me? Not really, but there are lectures on all kinds of beasts in the city. They ain't like their trolls, nothing to worry about. Unless there's 100 of them. They climb well, can get past the wall, and it won't be easy to hire a mage to help us. Let's think. We've got 3 of us, and you, Vina, and your father. Would your brother join us? Sure he would. Victus is a bit busy, but he'll help us. Priest Bates, too. And maybe we could ask the lumberjacks? You mean pay the lumberjacks? That's hardly enough, and I doubt we'd get much use from arming the rest of the village with spears. Have you learned anything about these goblins' weaknesses? No, it's not that kind of greeting. She is there on the behalf of her dad, though. For Carl, or our dwarves not around. I don't know. I mean, we've got fire, if nothing else. Not much to go with, is it? Better prepare the stronghold for the elders and kids. Bringing in the beds and furs from storage is easy enough, but we'll need help with collecting water and food. What about... So much to discuss. Especially if we were to mobilize our neighbors. Mayor wouldn't skimp on a few more shields, would she? We're in for a boring afternoon. Let's grab some chairs. And they all discounted the kid that's with her. I think they're not around in this game. That's the halflings. Dwarves are more square. Finally, some fresh air. I'll leave the door open. Is it just me, or do you get bolder when the soldiers aren't around? Not that I've got a choice. They're not my best friends or anything. They said I could join them once they head back to the city. They'd recommend me to their commander, I think they're called. What are you gonna do? Sounds like a big opportunity. Will you accept it? Nah, that's not for me. I won't leave my parents, and I ain't gonna get my belly torn apart in the middle of nowhere. As long as I've got my bowl full, I don't care about dragons. Dragons is what they use their coin, what they call their currency, and yes, it's made out of real dragon bone. Though getting noticed was nice. I'm sure it was. Well, it's getting late. See you soon. Good luck. Are you going? Why even bring me with you if I've got nothing worth saying? I'm sorry, what did you want to say? Forgive me. Next time, I'll give you the time to speak. Still here? Father's waiting for you. My sister is only a year younger than me, yet we're strangers. Lately, she called me a... Doesn't matter, but I think this time she meant it. I don't understand what divides us. So, we have... I guess Vina's the oldest. Then there's Lita and Hostia. And her brother. Well, her older brother. So her brother's the oldest, but she's the oldest of the girls, I guess. Just so you guys know, the playlist for Roadwarden is on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see what Roadwarden was all about, the whole playlist is there for you guys. It is a little bit pieced together just because my connection wasn't very stable back in the day, but it's there if you want to see what it's all about, because this is essentially a sequel, sort of, to that game. Ooh, have fun at the open house. Give Caleb all my love, and of course, everybody in your household all my love, Winter Fairy. And I hope that he looks forward to his first day of school, which is coming up. What's wrong? We're having a family dinner. Victus is taking Amira to the city to look for a healer. So, old Salvia can't help her? That's what Victus said. I'm sorry, pet. Any news about the goblins? kind of, but let it go for now. We shouldn't burden Victus with this. So Dad found them? How many? At least 30. They've settled in a cave not that far from here. We're screwed. And what about you? No work today? Stabulus can survive a few hours on his own. Having Stabs in our village is Right's blessing. He's full of ideas for silly meals and drinks, so I spend every evening at his inn, the Tasty Claw. Volo says the place is nothing special when compared to the city's alehouses. Makes me wonder. This game is a remaster of a 2018 game, so Roadwarden would be a sequel, really. I actually think that the timeline of events is that Roadwarden is the prequel to this game. I could be wrong. I need some rest anyway. I had to prepare the entire dinner for you two. Do we fight with our sister? Our slightly younger sister? Or do we just let it slide so as not to cause strife? Because for whatever reason, she is mad at us. Or she is not getting along with us. We do not connect. Seeing as I am the oldest of 4 kids and I have 2 younger sisters myself, I totally understand how that can work out. My sisters and I have not always gotten along. Over, you know, stuff, really. Over stuff. You know what? No, we don't fight with her. She's mad because we're vanishing, and also she looks like she'd be really good with an axe. Well, I can't imagine our father didn't teach all of his daughters how to at least defend themselves. We're gonna let it slide. Time to go. No point in fighting. So now we are at our home. When I was still little, my parents sold all of their possessions to build their new house from bricks instead of wood or wattle. We keep placing traps around it, teaching beasts to stay away from this side of the village. So we live here. So be it. So be it. So much fresh meat. Were we starving or what? This day deserves it. The boar was large enough to grant us a feast, and we'll share the leftovers with Relega, a farmer that lives next door to us, together with Temnus. They're in debt to the city merchants ever since they lost their entire flock of sheep to a plague. Their daughters, Firma and Lucidia, can handle themselves, but Regella doesn't enter the village anymore, too embarrassed and shy. She often visits my mother, talking to her even if she's asleep. That's very sweet for a neighbor to do. Well, look at her. I can't see her with a bow or a sword, but an axe? A small hatchet wielded with fury and accuracy? Oh yes, I can see that very easily. She's dangerous. Exactly. I got us a bottle of spiced mead from Costas, too. Mita's husband, maybe the wealthiest farmer in the village, but welcomes everyone with a smile. He spends many evenings in the Tasty Claw chatting with my father. Can I have some? Ain't it hilarious how Victus can simply decide to leave the city once he sees he needs it, while Vina sits on the fence for half a season? Wow, jealousy issues much? You're too old for petty squabbles. Just saying, at least she was kind enough to join us instead of stuffing her face at the inn again. I'm gonna calm down. There's no reason to get into this fight with our sister. Let's just have a good time. I said, can I have some mead too? In 2 years, little wolf. Let's have a talk before we drink anything. And Mira needs help, but I can't leave you with the goblins lurking around the corner. What did old Salvia say? Can't she help us? Lucidia told me that both herbalists have run out of ideas. Soon Innie's shell won't be able to swallow food. Because she's in a coma. While I'm grateful for your prayers, I can no longer wait for a miracle. You should still go to Salvia for Ludi. Everything's dark and hopeless. I'm sure they discussed it together. And she's rude and weird. So, she's smart. A second opinion wouldn't hurt. Their cabin ain't far away from here. We could go there and have a little talk. Salvia knows what she's doing. If she believes Ludi is ready for the duty of aiding our tribe, we'll respect her decision. Lucidia is my friend, and she's helped Mom a lot. Pup, you have your own set of responsibilities now. A child that's defenseless without you. And what about the monsters? It was all a false alarm. I got spooked by 5, maybe 8 hungry apes. We'll handle them, Vina and I. Finally, some good news. But are you sure you don't need my help? Help me by bringing back my granddaughter. When can you leave? Volo wants to hire the lumberjacks to escort us. If the right allows it, we'll hit the road tomorrow just before noon. Dad lied to him? But what if we need his help? Victus has got the right to decide what to do. Alright, well, are we truthful or will we let our dad lie to alleviate our older brother's worry that he is making the wrong decision and pursuing some kind of answer for his daughter's current problem? Our niece has been in a coma for months now. The local herbalists can do nothing for her. There might be answers in the city. There may not be. Our brother is old enough to have had, moved out and had kids of his own. Yes, the goblins are problematic, but it's possible that we will be able to take care of them anyway. So, do we let our father lie to his son so that his granddaughter gets help, or are we honest with our brother? Are we Sauron? If so, truth above all. That was the thing for that run. But if you've got the channel points, you guys can do what you like. I'm asking for your opinions. Please, weigh in. And lurkers, just know that as much as I am prompting for some sort of interaction, it is optional, as always. You are welcome here, you are loved, we adore you, feel free to hang out. This is a lurk-friendly stream, so do not feel the need to join in if you have your hands busy elsewhere. Welcome in, Mr. Scrake. Thank you for the lurk. I hope you are well. I have an ad starting in about a minute for those that's relevant to, just FYI. Well, nobody used channel points, so I'm gonna let my dad lie to my brother. Check out a few alehouses for me? Just ask your new mercenary friends. Myself, I'd rather visit the Grand Temple. But return soon, before the flowers fade away. I'll make a crown for Annie. Don't I deserve a cute crown too? Earn it by bringing me some sweets. Just eat a spoonful of honey. Boring. Wait, I heard something. Hi, Mom. She's awake. Great, you can say your goodbyes. I couldn't have hoped for a better evening. I better head back to the inn. Hostia, the dishes are on you. Me? This entire mess? A huntress, afraid of some dirt. Don't be a crybaby, it won't kill you. I'll go with you. Duh, what else is new? And what else would you want me to do? There's nothing fun around here. There's plenty of chores to help with, just nothing as easy as quaffing casks of cider. Keep your judgmental tone to yourself. Just saying. I hope the city will excite you enough before you finish your path as the drunk loser you really are. Oh, wow. Somebody is jealous. And I don't even know why she's jealous, because it's not like she can't make the same decisions if she wants to. She's old enough for it. I am not here to argue. I'll make sure there are no beasts outside. Fine, I'll grab my bag. Bye, Hostia. Wow, our sister is a bitch. Hang out with the older folks for a change. Calor is our ironsmith. He made all the weapons my family owns and came here when he was about 30. Says he learned everything on his own with no master. The tools he makes from chitin are weirdly light. The innkeep is my age. The younger neighbors are at work. Not the first time this happens. Not the first time this happens. Was drinking with the merchants just the other day. Our little Vina, a serious adult now. Before he started using nets and traps and fishing rods to catch food in the rivers, he was using spears and bows to hunt for saurians and large fish. His zeal has been weakened ever since he lost his foot, but his new methods turned out to be more efficient anyway. And when did I have time to be a kid? When did you fell your first prey? 6 years ago, I hit an otter with my slingshot. A nimble beast. Yeah, used to have quite the aim, back when I had 2 healthy eyes. 6 years, a third of my life. You know, the younger neighbors are at work right now. My friends are preparing for the worst. The goblins may come any day now. Does it happen often around here? Goblin attacks? Goblins or any other monsters. The trolls ate one of Arata's sheep not too long ago. It's the safest village in this part of the province, protected by guards, rituals, and hunting traps. You'll get used to it. You just got spoiled by the tall city walls. Give it a few years, a limb or two, and you'll feel at home. You know, the innkeep is my age. Stabs here is about my age, by the way. Judging by your harsh glances, you could be 5 years ahead of me. You're taller than me, too. And more muscular, don't forget. Flesh is one thing, soul's another. Easier to mature in the countryside. Definitely not a biased perspective. And some, like Calor, won't ever grow up. And why would I? I swing a hammer, not give advice to youngsters. The woods are not too gentle for us nowadays, but how's the river? Any chance at a good catch I could use for soup? Don't expect any grand tales from me. The older I get, the fewer risks I take. It's all nets and fishing rods now. No spears or clubs or saurian bait. You try to pay attention for a while, but hearing the same old tale again makes your thoughts drift away towards my brother's journey. While I'm here, Victus is preparing for his journey. But it was me who was meant to leave. Can't everything just slow down a bit? The goblins. My spear is sharp, but I should check on my boot knife. I should be able to handle a few goblins, right? Dad knows what he's doing. My father's lie. Seeing Dad act like that to keep his son safe. I didn't know he had it in him. How often does he lie to me? The job offer. Argentina left the village yesterday, but I can still catch a whiff of her plum perfume. Whenever she comes here, she looks like she owns the place. Confident, wealthy, gorgeous. Could I find all this in the city? Are we bored? I don't think we're bored. I think I'm just going to notice that everyone's looking at me. Huh? Her head is already resting on a cotton pillow all the way in the city. We were talking about the discussion we had with Ludi today. Someone as good as hunting as you would have no problem teaching Limos how to hold a spear rightly. He's a clumsy ass. Now you've got an issue with my ass? I'd never. I really don't think about hunting all that much. It's a respectable trade. With a dose of responsibility attached to it. A duty, some would say, and you've got the talent for it. Maybe. Dad's been teaching me since I was a kid. I've got a strong shell, good for combat, and the sharp senses of my mom. But I feel more myself when I'm home, or with friends, or even here. Even here? Have some mercy. What would you rather do? Ideally, nothing. No. I think, considering our decisions, I think we would rather guard the village than anything else. Working for the merchants is all well and good, but I think we worry too much about our family and our friends. And travel is all well and good, but, like, we may as well work for the merchants and get paid for it. The traveling. I mean, we'd have to work our way up to the traveling, but still. I think guarding the village like our brother is kind of what we're looking for here. Could be a guard like Firma. She seems happy, swinging her axe around. We've got a few rooms to spare too if you fancy anyone here. You could start a family easily. Maybe. Can't tell the future. Too bad old Salvia doesn't know how to read the clouds. Had no choices to bother with back in my youth. Windy Meadow needed food and we ran out of things to forage for, so I started to chase after the meat from the rivers. When I was a kid, my home village needed someone to fix tools for them. I played around till I got pretty good at it. No one really asked me if I liked it. But I very much did. How about you, Stabs? Why'd you leave the city's wealth behind? One can't run an inn there without joining the guild, and I'd rather keep the coins my parents left me after breaking their backs at the building sites for 30 years, thank you. There are no monsters in the city, right? No wrath of the herds? The more threatened the animals feel, the more desperate they get, and can even join forces to strike down human settlements. Every few years we hear stories of another tribe that was overrun by wild beasts, but it doesn't happen around here often. We're pretty close to the city walls. There are gargoyles from time to time, and the creatures underground, but I get what you mean. The truth is, there's no air in Bertrus. Every inch belongs to someone. Each item has its worth stated in writing. Any step you take is seen. Sure, there are no robbers, just a few pickpockets, but the officials leave you with hardly anything. You'd be close to the merchants, so you'd get a bit more space, but be aware of the sacrifices. I guess if living in the city was pure delight, everyone would live there. Those fancy pants may act all high and mighty, but they need our hands more than we need their poems and elixirs. But we do need their soldiers and roads. Nuh-uh. Or even if we do, will our children need them? Our grandchildren? In one lifetime, we've seen the plague and the South invasion. See, they're referencing things in Roadwarden, Trav. I'm pretty sure this Roadwarden was the prequel to this game. If etc. So like when we played Roadwarden, the plague was a thing that we had to deal with, and the Southern invasion was also a thing we had to deal with. Hey PP, welcome in. I hope that you are well. I guess so. Change is in the wind. Yes, no path is really safe, is it? I mean, it could be added in as part of the remaster, but I'm pretty sure that Roadwarden is the prequel. Could just be part of the setting. Details indeed. Day 3. Notice how there are marks in the wood for the days. The road to Beatrice sticks close to the Pearl River and is somewhat well kept. Just a few hours it takes you to the roadside inn that gathers news from all the neighboring tribes. I don't see where... Oh, there's the highlight. May the right guide your steps. Thanks. And your tribe. Lumberjack! I was wondering where you were hiding. I'm getting old. The commotion wears on me. How did your goodbyes go? I'll miss our neighbors and you. Let's pray I get back before the leaves cover the roads. Chances are good. Can you get to the city in 2 days? 3, I'd say. It's noon already. You're taking a heavy pouch with you, so I'm sure you'll find a mage in no time. Who knows? Maybe you'll be back in 10 days. Well, it's not impossible. Watch out for thieves. Keep an eye on that pouch of yours. 10 people told me that newcomers are the juiciest bites for pickpockets. Yeah, I ain't looking forward to the inns, but I'll get in touch with Evolo's family. They may have a room for me, or some work that would allow me to stay in a safe haven. Remember the tips from Lucidia. Feed Innie only once you make a stop. Take your time. Don't let her choke. Seriously, I've been at her side long enough for you to trust me. And we do, but you never know which word you need to hear before you enter the woods. Any of them may save your life. Are you afraid of the journey? A dangerous road ahead. Will you be all right? Ain't my first time on the road. Don't be dumb. The 100th trip is as dangerous as the first one. Wash your ears and mind the tree crown. Stay away from hard drinks, especially at the roadside inns, and keep your eyes on the game. Fine, fine. But with our bags resting on the wagon, we'll save plenty of strength for the beast. I trust in the right. How will you get back? How are you going to get back? Will your crew join you? I doubt it. We'll likely get assigned to work right after we pass the city gates. Worst case scenario, I'll join a trading caravan and stick to the main road until I reach the nearest inn. From there, I'll hire a few missionaries or a roadwarden to escort us home. Just in case we brought you something. Oh? Used to belong to... Nalia. Of course, I recognize it. Was excited to hear that Nalia, the gargoyle slayer, was moving to our village. A farmer who ended up being a famous mercenary living among the rich folk. But now, she's just a shadow. You're crazy. I can't accept it. It belongs to our family now. If you have to, sell it. But it's made of cold steel. How much did it cost? Don't worry about it. As long as it can help you, it's worth it. Couldn't have said it better myself. If you want to pay us back, look for a few mercenaries at the inn. Pay them to protect our village. Maybe hire a spellcaster. I guess I don't have a choice. You're wasting time. The creatures of the night won't wait for you. That's exactly right. I'll pray for all of you. Tell Mom I love her. Come back safe and tell her yourself. Well, time for our patrol. East? I ain't sure we should enter the woods anymore. Let's set some traps by the western bank and secure our cabin. These goblins live by a creek, so I bet they'll try to overtake the river sooner or later. Right. When might they attack the farmers? They're hungry, so any moment now. We've got to take the initiative. I had a small chat with Hostia this morning. Wanted to make sure she understands our situation. She mentioned what you told her, about waiting for our orders before she joins the fight. Thank you, Vina. Having you on my side means a lot to me. We need to stick together. We're family. We've gone through our share of rough years, but we're still here. Yep, still here and still strong. May the right give us a few good days now. I think we've been tested a lot. Let's focus on the day ahead. We can't control it, but we've got work to do. So now we want more beasts to reach our village. Never in my life did I think I'd witness such a day. Let's hope we'll see runners. Deer and stouts, not goblins. I ain't looking forward to werecats scratching at our door. We've got more hands to set up traps now. I guess I'd rather take cats than howlers. Let's not set too many traps. No pack of howlers will be as annoying as Victus on a diet. Or you when you catch a cold. But the cat girls. He sends his love, by the way. Tell that pup to say it to my face. I did, Mom, I did. Glad to hear that you and Latro see eye to eye. These are difficult days. Yeah, kind of. He keeps saying I should take that job offer. I'm well aware. He asked me if he's getting too obnoxious. The great monster slayer doesn't have all the answers. What a day. Be gentle. Being the sole parent is harsh on him, and he hates to admit his shortcomings. As a kid, he wasn't allowed to make mistakes. Over and over again, people told him he ought to be a hero. And now I can't make any mistakes myself. It's not your fault. You and your dad fight the same sickness. The curse of doubt? Of expectations. But you are not on your own, like I've always said. I know. A strong tribe is a united tribe. I'm glad the tales of your elders have stuck with you. Don't call yourself that. You don't even have wrinkles, unlike Dad. Such youth. All I've got left are the long naps and the brief hours when I have the strength to speak. If my condition doesn't finish me off, boredom will. We may still find a cure. I'm sorry. Didn't want to sound so grim. You and your sisters are a gift. I never met my mother, and I wish I could have been by your side, but you're brave enough you're brave beyond belief. The right has truly blessed us. Come on, don't make me blush. I'm just happy, that's all. What's wrong? I don't know what I want from life. I don't know what to do. Because you can't enter the woods anymore? Or do you mean the goblins? I want to go, but I don't want to leave. You spoke with that merchant, right? Did she rub you the wrong way? Argentina's fine. Full of herself, but that's not unlike all the other rich folk. Dad acts as if taking this job is the easiest thing in the world. He says you've got no reason to refuse. But there are plenty. Such as? The people I care about? All of you guys and my friends and Tasty Claw and our forests? Of course, pup. Leaving my village wasn't easy either. It brought its share of pain. I loved my tribe. What made you leave? I craved the change. To meet so many people, live just next to a wide river, sell my pelts and tusks to the city folk, and to get to taste wine. And above all else, I wanted to be with your father. All the memories. I have so many memories, all of them tied to our home. How could it be different if you've never traveled? You'd be surprised how adaptable humans are, even though we're so afraid of the unknown. The goblins are near. Not so long ago I faced trolls, and now we've got goblins in a cave? What's gonna come next? You don't have to stay with us to help us. You could whisper it to the merchant's ears or convince the officials to send us another few soldiers. The city sounds so scary. I've got no idea what to do in the city, and it has so many people. I'd feel lost and alone. Your boss would help you. The city folk know how to handle newcomers. Just make sure to ask our neighbors how to recognize swindlers. They're the real predators of the city, not the gargoyles. It sounds as if you want me to leave. Excuse me, I said no such thing. Then I don't get it. What are you saying? You're free, Vina. I don't want you to listen to your parents. The choice you're gonna make needs to be your own. Leaving will weaken what ties you to this place.
Some days you won't think about us at all, but if you stay, you may never touch the life you've dreamed of. A mournful fate all the same. And who can say your choice will make any difference? Stay here and you may die in a fire or from a plague, or maybe you'll get an even better offer in a year and we'll find a treasure in the lake. Leave and you may die on the road at the hands of the undead, or get robbed in an alehouse, or lose your job after just a few days and return to us with lips rotten from resentment. We make choices and deal with their consequences. Our moments of bliss and pain are often undeserved. Most of the time, we ain't in control. Don't look for the right path, or your own path. Chasing after one's dreams is reserved for a mere handful, but the lives of everyone else are just as valuable. Yes, go out, experience life! A starving orphan will seek their next meal, not happiness. Would you look down on them because of that? My greatest joy is that you have a choice, but no one can point your life in the right direction. There ain't one, and you won't avoid suffering. My remaining days will be little more than staying grateful for the good life I've had and for sharing my misfortunes with the love of my life. Your shell is strong and young, and your soul is kind. You now only need to sharpen your will. Mom, this babbling makes me hungry. The bread is different, but I like it. Lita got a few tips from Stabulus. Didn't ask her for the details. One thing I don't long for is cooking. Having you girls in the kitchen is truly a blessing. Should I mention the last time you tried to whip cream on your own? No reason to remind us of such traumatic events, little wolf. All right, now we're ready. We are at this cabin. I don't know, it doesn't feel that safe. I didn't see any lights or burned wood at the goblin camp. I'd bet 10 dinners they won't set this cabin on fire. Let's put trust in these walls. All we've got to do is wait for their tribe to get into range of our spears. These gaps in windows are perfect. I'd rather have the guards with us. Our scent would scare them away and would mask the bait of the raw meat. I don't have more blood and slices to scatter around the woods. We can't kill all of them on our own. Obviously. Let's just wound some of the smaller ones and throw a few torches at the largest beast. They'll run to the river and to put out the fire, and we'll know not to approach the humans around here. Should I light up more torches then? Let's avoid the unnecessary smoke and fire. So all we can do is sit and wait. The joyful life of a hunter. Damn, this straw is soaked. No wonder it smells so bad. Yeah, it's more of a dump than a shelter. We should rebuild it next spring. If we can still cut any trees in the east without angering the herds. The lumberjacks have left quite a clearing. Huh, good point. Couldn't you have skipped sprinkling yourself with the lilac oils today? The trap would work better if we were odorless. You said we might come here. I was ready to spend time with my friends just in case. Maybe learn how to drink cider without sniffing each other? Now you've made the goblins' lives easier. We were told goblins rely on their eyes. Don't they rely more on their eyes than their noses? Let's not follow Nalia's advice so blindly. She's an old drunk. Nalia deserves our respect. Listen to your elders. I've heard that countless times. And Nalia's a famous adventurer. Her path has clearly led her to a dark place. Who knows if her wits are still with her? My perfume hides my scent. If anything, my perfume hides my scent. Flowers are less human than our dirt. Yeah, right. Be serious now. Is the risk really worth it? I don't know. I didn't pay attention as I was opening the flask. Next time I will. Relax. Of all days, this one requires our attention. Well, whatever. I can't predict every situation. We're taking risks, and I'll make a mistake sooner or later. Deal with it. Yeah, I guess. Doesn't mean you have to tempt fate, pup. I'll do better, but so should you. I can't be perfect at my job. All I can do is promise that I'll try to do better, but show me some patience. Fine. I guess that's all I can ask for. Stench of our bait is strong. It's a safe bet that blood will be shed tonight. Are you afraid? Are you? Why are you? No doubt. With every passing year I get more scars, my hands grow stiffer, and my back hurts more after a day of work. I guess you are old for a hunter. You're right about that. So how strong can a goblin get? Enough to burst in? About as strong as a human, I reckon. So they could make a hole in the thatch above us. They're too dumb for that. Are you sure? Sure enough to risk it. Did Lita pack us anything? I can spread a bit of honey on some slices of bread if you've got the stomach to eat right next to a rotting pile of meat. I've eaten raw snakes and ravens. I'll manage. Did the goblins even come? Oh, it's just later. Here comes the goblins. Dad? Right. Ready? May the right's breath be with us. Quite the night. Is that... Did we win? Why ain't they running to the river? Wait, they're scattering over the shrubs. Uh-oh. What have I done? It's spreading everywhere. Run to the village. Wake up everyone you can. We need to rescue Salvia. Be careful and stay away from the beasts. Well, that was exciting. We are back at the inn. Whoop. Sorry. And we can't forge no more, and there are no mages to protect us. Half the folks who could fight the monsters have fled to the city. No one fled anywhere. They had to leave, that's all. This is the mayor. This is your last warning, Calor. You won't interrupt me another time. Ad starts in about 40 seconds. Just FYI. Friends, we're all tired and angry, but don't let your emotions take over. Be the sunbeam among the foliage, remember? Thank you, Vates. None of you is held in Windy Meadow against your will. At the same time, I won't order an evacuation without good reason. We have the sick and the elders to look after. I can't force them all to seek refuge in the name of our fear. Indeed, a rash choice would turn us into beggars and vagabonds. Let's discuss the threat at hand. Step forward, Latro. Why ask him at all? Forget it. You and Vina have killed a bunch of goblins already. Are they even a threat? I can't say how many of them were taken by the fire, but judging by the number I've seen roaming around the woods in the last few hours, I reckon the remaining ones will seek revenge. Can we stop them? If they're dumb enough to storm our walls. And what if the wrath of the herd follows suit? Then, no. There's a blessing in disguise, though. The trolls have already devoured dozens of local predators, to the point that we need to cease all hunting for a year or so. That's a risky gamble to take. We could set up more traps. This is our land. We can place traps, stop the onslaught before it reaches our walls. Even if it were a sound plan, surrounding the entirety of our territory with moats and spikes would take years, and we have only a few days to act at best. My question is, what went wrong? How did the fire get out of control? An audible whisper from Errata. I think Errata has something to say. It's Latro's fault. That's what Nalia said. To be specific, I simply stated that Latro made a mistake. Care to elaborate? Well, he had no good reason to assume that these specific goblins were familiar with rivers or ponds. I guess nowadays the goblin packs are smaller than they used to be before the southern invasion. Back in the day, learning how to confront 100 of them was crucial for any fighter. Each goblin pack or tribe, if you insist, is different. They ought to be observed, studied, outsmarted. Before combat, we used to plan our steps for days. A bit late to spread the seeds of knowledge, wouldn't you say? I'm just an old drunk, am I not? Latro told me everything was under control. That's why I sold my sword in the first place. This isn't the right time to dig out old grudges. Nalia, once the meeting is over, could you spend some time sharing your insight with us? Better prepare some decent snacks. Yes, this could have gone much better, but it also wasn't a terrible plan. It's just not fully thought out. Meanwhile, the rest of us should gather anything of value we have left and secure it in the warehouse. Whoever lives outside the palisade needs to be moved to the stronghold. The guards will help you. We'll do our best right after the meeting. I'm afraid there's one more thing we need to discuss. Please join us, Errata. Latro, Errata has decided not to seek retribution against you. We all knew that Lana had little time left. She used to babysit Lita, Victus, and me when our parents left for a hunt. The warmest and most cheerful soul I've ever met, but it didn't help her overcome her illness. However, the wounds you carved in our tribe can't be forgiven. Are you ready to hear the council's judgment? I am. Mayor? We're going to trade your trophies for seeds and saplings from the neighboring villages, if not for our own sake, then for the generation that is to come after us. As Lacerda describes the burden of Latro's mistake, from Salvia's burnt hut to the threat of starvation sneaking up on your tribe like a fog, your father becomes smaller with every word. You try to pay attention, but each moment lasts for an eternity. You think of your mother, resting through her darkest days in the scarce luxury she has earned, and which she is now going to lose. You think of the chaos that's going to once again push Hostia into distress. Who knows if she's going to recover from it this time round. Of Lita's angry glances in the wall that grows between you, of little Emira and the desolation she's going to find when she wakes up. Of Latro's legacy now shattered. Anger makes your breath warmer and louder. But if you refuse to pay, you are to be branded as an outlaw. All tribes we can reach would hear of your banishment. Do you accept your fate, or would you rather take it to the judges of Bertus? Do we speak out, or do we stay silent? A mistake was made. It was well-intentioned, but it was still a mistake, and a bad one. There isn't much that can be done about it now, except to try and recover what they can. Do we want to be angry about this? Or shall we just say nothing? Our father is taking responsibility for what has happened. If we get involved, it could go badly for both of us. I think the smart thing to do is to stay silent, honestly. So that is what I'm going to do. I accept. Of course, your fate shall not be shared by your family. We'll do our best to provide for Hostia and Preddy. We're all in this together. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Rhoda invites you all to participate in Lana's passing rites. We'll gather at the cemetery once you all secure your possessions. Well, he is responsible. Not much use in saying anything, since, of course, we were trying to help. Just stay quiet and accept the consequences. Yeah. For the first time in years, your dad remains quiet, observing the alleys of Windy Meadow with gloomy eyes. What's your plan? What now? What now? Now I need to bring news back to your mother, then we're back to work as usual. Arata needs my help. I'm sorry, but I'm going to need your assistance at least for the next few days. Will we be alright? You and your sisters will be fine. You heard the mayor. It's me who's responsible for all this. Bring them here in an hour, won't you? He's taking it pretty well. At least he tried to do something. I wait for the others to act first. Even my fight with the trolls sort of just happened. But it's all an act. It's not like he'd allow himself to cry about it. How are you, Vina? The days are getting grim. Could be better. The last few days have been rough. Can't argue with that, but you know how our tribe is. We fight to see another day. Sick of all these battles. I'd usually scoff at someone so young uttering such words, but in your family's case, I'm willing to nod in agreement. The tablets say our souls are not that of a tiger or a dragon or a troll. We endure together and die as one. Anyone in your place would feel lost. If you need someone to listen to you without judgment, I'll consider it. Thanks. I know where to find you. This village is so small, you can just shout out my name. See you in the evening. We'll fight shoulder to shoulder. Your spear, my sickle sword. Having the right, simply tell me what to do. My entire family prays daily. Do I want their confidence or acceptance? I guess Hostia doesn't pray much. Huh. You know what? This ain't the same sheep. It has brown dots on its back, not black ones, and a white tail. So its sister has lured us towards her, as if to distract us? What a cunning, fluffy beast. Great, now I'm getting outwitted by a sheep. At this pace, we should be done with gathering this herd in 10 or so years. Are there no magical plants that could lure them to us? A sheep nip? I'll ask old Salvia. If she ever had such a thing, it's now lost to the fire. I'd rather not bother her. So how can we find the others? I ain't sure, Pup. Let's just do our best before sunset. I bet most of them died in the fire. Well, yes, but the hills kept the flames from spreading west, and the sheep know how to swim, though they can't outrun the cats and dragonlings that roam our woods. And are we going to outrun them? The beasts are still in shock, so right now the woods are safer than ever. Just focus on the sheep. Don't worry, she won't go anywhere. Ain't that right, my pillow? Hate to admit it, but Vina sounds wiser with every day she spends away from a bottle. What's your problem this time? Just saying. Please, wolves. This herd is worth 300 dragons, if not more. The more of them we find, the closer I'll be to paying off my debts. Flock, not herd. Sheep gather in flocks. Doesn't really matter. I'm Vina. I'm a dumb brute. I couldn't possibly memorize another word. Yeah, I'm ignoring that. Lita, I swear, is it too much to ask for a moment of silence? Sorry, Father. See, I'm helping. The beast is under my charm, as tame as a lamb. Saving strength for it later. Avoid its bite. Dad, I see Arata's griffin. Let it go. It doesn't need our protection. It may be afraid and turn hostile if we were to approach it. It ran away. Father. I'm going to marry Stabulus. He'll support me through my carpenter training. Once I start earning dragon bones, I'm going to help you. I won't let you struggle by yourself. And I guess I don't have a say in this matter? Sorry, not this time. I don't need your guidance. Then let me be the first to congratulate you. I won't doubt your judgment. You and Stabulus are so cute together. I knew you were scheming something. We may as well be happy for her. I have a feeling she talked Stabulus into this. Best of luck, Lita. He's a kind soul. Thank you. I'm happy you're with me. And who knows? Maybe Vina could chip in as well if she decides to work for the merchants. But for now, I'm sure I'll be fine on my own. Oh boy. This is a reason why we might want to go work for the merchants just for the money. Sounds like a villain of a kid's show based on in Rome. I mean, yes, it's an unfortunate name. You can count on me, Dad. Of course, Dad. I'll be happy to help. Thank you both. Your mother keeps saying that all of our daughters are the right's blessing, and I couldn't agree with her more. Time to move. Let's prepare to take this sheep away from here. Astia, why are you crying? Don't cry. Alright, well, that's Vina and her father's story. Now we move to Fable the Storyteller, which we've heard mention of. "10 years ago. Oh, that's not good. Focus on my voice. Once I set you free, you've got to run. Run, is that clear? Don't take anything with you. And Nanny? She'll be fine, sweetie. Think about the jar of honey that's waiting for us. What can I do? Keep watching. Shout if you see anyone. Fable, is the fire close? Can you breathe? I don't know. I guess. Stay calm. That priest is fighting them off. Almost done. Yes, let's get out. Excuse me? Now what do we have here? Going somewhere? No, I'm not afraid. I can fight. Sure, pal. Want to stay here? You don't even need these legs. Should have run when you had the chance. Kid, still with us? I could use a guide. At least you're breathing. I can't carry you around or the raiders will kill us both, and you won't make it through the woods anyway. A wingless crow can't defend its eggs, says the tablets. Though, how does it end? But it would still try to do so? Fine, but once we get jumped by beasts, you're on your own. Day 1. Is this really the best time for daydreaming? It says something different now. The house of Aunt Nalia in the nearest building in the village, or the newest building in the village. When asked why she would insist on placing it outside the village walls, she said she'd rather deal with the monsters than listen to all the squabbling. That's for sure. I was thinking about my parents. I was thinking about Little Oak. I wish my parents could see me now, next to an old manuscript and a wax tablet. Your uncle, a servant to the right, my foster father. When I was 6, he carried me to safety from my burning home and brought me to his house miles away. It was the right thing to do, he says. He doesn't talk about himself, but since he used to be a Roadwarden, I've no doubt his hands are stained with blood. I don't care. He's wise and humble. I wish I could be less of a burden to him. Your uncle says that you've always been a smart kid. I'm sure your kin had high hopes for you. If so, why is it taking me so long to learn how to read and write? Is it? It was even more difficult for me. Go on. Took me more than a year to learn the basics. I used to travel with this scholar, never mind his name. He would show me this and that whenever we shared a table at an inn. A year is a lot. That's a terribly long time. Could be better, could be worse. Given enough time, you stop judging most events like that. I did the best I could, that's all. Were you seen as a smart kid? Smart enough to grab the first opportunity I had to learn to use a blade and carve me a life of wealth, but I've never been much of a scholar. I'll do better. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired, but I'll pay attention. It is getting late, but be proud of yourself. We're making progress. Were you able to keep up with my dictation? I'm trying to make the letters smaller, but can't find enough space to fit them in a row. That's completely normal. You'll figure out the proper shapes and sizes with practice. Time's on your side. Can't I use a bigger tablet? We've got plenty of wax in the village. It'd slow your progress. You'd get used to shabby letters. Also, clearing the old letters is a pain. It takes me almost as much time as writing does. And it'd only take you more time with a larger tablet. It's all right, Fable. No need to rush yourself. You're doing fine. Nothing about this is fine. Could someone care about my time? Why can't Bates practice with me instead of sending me to someone who knows about as much about teaching as I know about swimming? Anything else? You may be young, but I'd advise you to temper your tongue. Don't force others to deal with your shit. I don't want to lie or we're a family. This is an odd choice. A burden shared is a burden lessened. And I know that the context of that particular turn of phrase is meant to be in like physical labor, but emotional labor is still helpful to talk about your problems with other people. And here he is expressing his frustration, which isn't actually being this frustrated at trying to learn something isn't actually helpful for him, but expressing his frustration and talking it out would be, and yet she's telling us, don't take your shit out on other people, which is fair. Like, do not make your problems other people's problems is still fairly valid, but a burden shared is a burden lessened. And as patient as she's being, she is shutting down his expression of frustration rather than addressing it. So the fact that our choices here are, I don't want to lie, and we're a family, are a little bit odd, but it sounds like he's frustrated a lot and is an angsty teen too, and she gets a lot of it all the time. Yeah, there is that too. Like, there is, to some extent, the fact that when you are young and hormonal, you really cannot control yourself. There needs to be some amount of understanding in that. There also needs to be some amount of learning how to control it, because the hormones don't really go away from that point. Like, you are at the height of how unruly they are going to be, but at the same time, learning how to control yourself to when it is an appropriate time to express something is also valid. I don't know. It's a difficult thing. He's young and impatient. She's much older, wiser, and being patient, but patience only lasts so long. So I think I don't... We're a family. I think we're gonna go with we're a family. Can't I be honest with you? We're a family. Family requires trust, too. I've known you for how long? Half a year? Forming bonds takes time. I'm sure your tribe told you plenty of stories about my past. I was told to ask you about them directly. Is that right? I guess I owe them some gratitude. If you want to have a friendly, honest conversation with me, earn my trust first. Bards shouldn't be fake. Bards use their hearts to perform. I need to be truthful, otherwise I'll sound fake. I have no idea who told you that. Art, songs, and tales are all beautiful lies. Remember the storyteller who visited our village last summer? I had a long chat with her. She said that lies are like nails piercing our tongues, that her tales portray the truth. Bards get better pay when they're seen as more than entertainers. They want you to think their tales are valuable. Don't be too trusting, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to lie. Where the hell he'd get that idea from? Bards lie as easily as breathing. It's their stock and trade. Well, in the world of Roadwarden, bards are the reason why the news and the truth is spread about various things. That isn't to say that there's no bard that lies in the world of Roadwarden. I'm just saying that in general, a bard is there to tell stories, and honestly speaking, the stories should have at least a kernel of truth, even if the events therein are exaggerated for the drama. Just saying. But I think he does not want to lie. I don't want to lie to other people. You expect everyone to be constantly curious about your feelings. I just want to have an option to take off my mask from time to time. I'm exhausted by this forced kindness. Kindness doesn't have to be a lie if you truly respect the other side. Well, this isn't stupid. We're actually having a productive conversation, so I'm going to avoid that this is stupid, because that's just him lashing out again. I'm sorry for my outburst, I think, is the only way forward in this conversation, because we are having an honest discussion about trust and truth, the frustration of our feelings versus when the appropriate time to express them is. So this is not a stupid conversation in the least. And yes, Trav, I wasn't assuming that you were only referring to D&D bards. Not all D&D bards have the deception skill, after all. I have played a couple of D&D bards without it. All persuasion, baby. I want to apologize. I didn't want to... I know, it's fine. But I think we're done for today. You could use some fresh air. I should filter out all this sediment from my grain beer. Say hello to Vates for me. Ooh. Your aunt says your name quietly. Her voice is clouded with doubt. We have a little cart. I love that. You called me auntie? We all have our limitations, but feeling guilty about it won't help you. You're trying your best. We'll figure out how to read and write. You'll figure out how to read and write in no time. Whee! That has got to be a bumpy ride, man. The ones who say they don't have the deception skill are lying about it. I have played bards without any single use of the deception skill. There may in fact have been some use of the charm spells, but there was no deception involved. We are at the Tasty Claw Inn because it's the place to be. Hi there, enough studying for today. Yeah, another lesson, another headache. I warned you, even in Bertus, almost no one reads. Reading manuscripts will help me learn more stories, and about stories, and about taking notes. Yet, even for a bard, it's quite a rare skill. Most storytellers repeat what they've heard from one another, only pretending they know what they're talking about. Trust me, I would know. But having no legs, I'll see fewer things, face fewer adventures. I need to rely on knowledge to even the odds. Only if you're determined to stay on this path. I am, for now. But since you mentioned it, have you spoken with Lita? Stabulus's girlfriend. We used to play with wooden blocks and carving tools, but she's grown to be so serious about everything. I think even she doesn't know why she's upset all the time. I have a feeling she hit puberty and just became upset at everything. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But I sure did. She's not going to work at the inn for much longer. She's planning to spend some time learning from the carpenters. What carpenters? There may be no masters in the village, but Castus, Caller, and Sulcus all know this and that. It's enough to get her started. Castus is the local farmer and a beekeeper married to Meadow. Judging by the tales he shares, he has siblings and cousins in every village in the province. I help him with various tasks, but not in the fields. Caller, a simple, decent soul who's spent his life practicing his craft. He used to even help the poorest farmers, asking for nothing in return, but now mainly does tasks for the rich folks from other villages. From what I've seen, as I was cleaning his workshop, he's not too well off for himself. He's also the blacksmith. Hey, Bramble, welcome in. Yeah, I know. It's an unfortunate name for him. Sulcus, a farmer, Arata's husband. He doesn't spend much time in the village, but always takes part in the tribe's prayers. But she'll have to travel to another tribe in a year or two, maybe even to the city. Bates took me to Bertus only once. We had to join a large caravan of merchants, and after 3 days the place gave me a headache. There are thousands of people there, so many scents and so much noise. I couldn't hear my own thoughts. No wonder people there learn to be busy all the time. Oh, God, I could understand why the place gave him a headache. Being that low to the ground and the way that medieval cities tend to deal with waste, he would be closest to the ground, which would not be a fun experience. Also, ad break in very soon. Just, it's gonna hit you in the face in a moment. For those it's relevant to. That sucks. Yeah, but she's got talent in her hands and will return here after her apprenticeship. For now, I need to find another kind soul for hire. And you still think it should be me? Indeed. I'd teach you everything I know about running an inn. Want to start coming in the evenings? That's nice and all, but don't be silly. I can't bring folks mugs of ale or stand up to the drunks. I thought you just wanted me to help you clean up the rooms every now and then. Have some mercy. You want to be a bard with an imagination this small? If you were to run your own inn one day, I'd hire someone to move the tables for you. Or you'd hire, rather. And in the meantime, you'd keep the place spinning. Take care of the planning, counting letters, and busy work. Talk to the guests, tell them stories. You'd save quite a few coins. Keep the place spinning. Get that from the city. Don't judge me. I had to learn a whole bunch of old sayings from your tribe, too. Nevertheless, I can't spend my days studying, reading, writing, and playing the flute and doing chores, then end up here each evening. I've got my limits. I need to get ahead of all the other traveling talkers. Working at an inn, you'd hear more stories than you can store in your skull, both from distant lands and from the people struggling with day-to-day problems. You'd gather news, jokes, and rumors from the entire province. For a storyteller, there's no better place to be than an inn. No, he's got a point. He's got a point. Stabulus, for as ridiculous as his name is, has a point. Yeah, this may work. That sounds kind of good, actually. Give me a few days to think about it. I knew you'd spot the opportunity. Just don't take too long. I need to hire someone right away before Ivolo's wedding. The sooner you decide, the better. Ivolo abandoned his wealth and moved here from the city to have a simple, pleasant life. Must be weird to have everything and to do whatever you want. Are you going somewhere? Soon, I need to wipe the tables and sweep the floor. So, Nalia's sword. She's Vate's sister's husband's mother, I think. She moved to Windy Meadow a few years ago to set her soul at ease, but now spends her time either sitting in her house or at the inn, sometimes accepting visitors from other villages. Vate says she's smart, but refuses to tell me about her past. I'm not going to ask her to let me hold it. It's her favorite toy. What do you mean? You know, she waggles it around or polishes it. She doesn't even seem to notice it. Why do you keep nagging me about it? About a sword made of cold steel? I want to hold it, of course. I want you to break the ice for me. What's this cold steel exactly? Some sort of magic that darkened the blade? I'm not sure. A rare alloy from the growing mountains, I think? People say it stays sharp for generations and is lighter than a stick. I bet all those are lies. It used to be the most famous blade in Burtis. Nalia lent it to officials for parades and such. For dragon bones, of course. Our coins are made of dragon bones, which are difficult to find or to counterfeit. In the village, we usually barter or pay for our work. One of the paintings I have was meant to portray a similar weapon, but I don't think it's very accurate. Why does my aunt even have it? Did she find it in an old treasury? You want to read ancient scrolls when you have legends within reach of your fingertips? So share a legend with me, Stabby. I don't know all the details. I have to visit Errata before the evening. Buy a sheep from her. I sometimes work on her farm if the road is dry enough to make the trip. She raises sheep for meat and parchment, and griffins for company and protection. Can't you make up a fine story on your own? I need to know the truth to invent better stories. I need my stories to carry some truth in them. Others would mock me if they were to catch me mumbling nonsense on stuff I know nothing about. Who cares? Just say you made it all up. Give people a bit of fun. I don't think it would work in the long run. You'd be surprised. Well, see you soon, Runt. Enjoy dusting the shelves, big guy. Why, yes, Fable has lost his legs. I'm back. So we are now at the House of Vates, my guardian in the place where our tribe gathers to pray and listen to the teachings of the rites tablets. We live inside every spring and summer, but we move back to the village in autumn and close the doors entirely during the winter season. Despite the spells and traps, there's too many beasts around. And I was just leaving. Would you like a sandwich? Thanks. I hate cooking while I'm hungry. We're out of fish. I'll bring another one in the evening. That's fine. Nom 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 nom. How was your day? Slow, as always. I helped with the flour grinding, went for my lessons, and had a chat with Stabby. Mm-hmm. Nom 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 nom. Could you organize our clothes? Check them for bugs? They're getting all rumpled in the closet. Sure. Are you heading for the cemetery? Nah, I have a few tough conversations ahead of me. Victus says he's trapped. Errata feels hopeless. Ivolo needs some advice tied to his savings. I don't know what that's all about. While I want to make up stories, Victus lives one as a tragic hero. He's always been so kind and patient, even to me, and I used to babysit his daughter. Now I can't hold back my tears when I see him looking at her. We know that his daughter is in a coma. Yeah, we've seen all that. Oh well, I'll be back in a couple of hours. Good luck. I almost forgot. Castus could use help with candles the day after tomorrow. Great! Aunt Nalia will be busy that day. I can take some extra work. Such a simple job won't earn you a dragon, but you'll get some apples and honey. That's fine with me. Can't fill up a stomach with bones, am I right? I'll let him know. Have fun cooking. And time passes. Still awake? Good. We need to have a talk. Huh? I ain't done with my chores yet. I'll help you finish them. For now, let's go to the backyard. I want you to pay attention. What did we do now? Did something happen? I went to see Nalia. She told me about your doubts. And? And apparently you're mad at me. You mentioned that I should be your teacher. We were frustrated. I don't know about mad. What do we think, chat? Do we say that we're not mad? Or do we ask him why he won't teach us? Our dad is the priest of the town. Well, our adoptive father, I should say, is the priest of the town. He was once a Roadwarden himself, so he's had experience traveling and fighting monsters. That doesn't necessarily mean that he can read, but what do we think? But why won't you teach me? Alright, Trav. Yeah, we can whine about it, I guess. I mean, why won't you teach me? The cemetery can handle a season without the daily cleaning. I'm wasting my time with Nalia. She and I don't agree on many things, but it's foolish to underestimate her wit. Has she taught anything? Has she taught anyone anything before? I asked her about her children, but she's changed the topic instantly. She tends to teach people by allowing them to mimic her movements, like a combat instructor would. She used to be quite an adventurer and faced more nightmares and wonders than you can think of. She's not a scholar, but has her own unique tale to share. Because you'll never be as good with a rapier as someone with legs, boy. It's all about footwork. Honestly, you never learn. She doesn't really tell me much about storytelling. She's all about writing the language of the tablets. The language used for the ancient manuscripts, used by priests and scholars, but not by regular folk. Thanks to the time I've spent in the priest's house, I've got an ear for it. I talked to her about it. I think you're gonna enjoy your next lesson. Be open to what she tries to show you. Don't grow too attached to my thoughts on things. The world is much larger than what I can tell you about it. I don't think she's all that interested in the rite and their teachings. While it crushes my heart, it's even better for you. You're ready to listen to different perspectives. Figure out your own truths. All eyes are blind, but a fresh pair reveals new truths, says the tablets. I'm worried about her. A soul her age shouldn't spend their days shut in a house. She lives so close, but is still a stranger in our tribe. Can you blame me for using the opportunity to have her spend more time with one of our brightest? I guess you're helping both her and me. I guess it's good that she talks to someone, though she thinks she's paying off her debt to you. Good. There ain't many stories about helping out lonely elders in the eyes of the right. It's no less important than facing the largest trolls. One thing's for sure, seeing how long Wright's tablets are, I never run out of stories to read. Listening to Vate's teaching, I'm happy I can seek wisdom in them. Let's keep this conversation between us. Nalia's cranky enough as it is. Right. I'll sit here for a few more moments. The sky looks lovely tonight. Even if it is raining. Day 2. Feeling any better today? I ain't feeling worse. Truly, you're indistinguishable from the rest of our family. I'd offer you a juniper drink to lighten up the mood, but we should keep our eyes clear for the lesson. Stabula says the real scribes drink mead and ale daily, and even wine, especially the monks from the Orders of Truth. Manuscripts are too valuable to allow such negligence. Not the ones I have, of course. But most codices reach prices comparable to those of weapons enhanced with magic, or to chitin armor. No monk would be allowed to bring a chalice of wine into the scriptorium. I've guarded 2 or 3 monasteries, I'd know. Don't listen to any piece of gossip thrown at you by an innkeeper. Even one as trustworthy as Stabs. And now let's get to work. This time, I've cleared all the tablets. That's great, but today we're going to do something special. Quill sharpening? Better. I've prepared a few interesting stories for you. One's much more complex than our regular reads. I'd like you to read one out loud, and then we'll have a bit of a discussion. Where did you get them? I bought a few tales I enjoy as well as my own notes. I've gathered some of them from bards and travelers, and others from various manuscripts. Your dad wants me to share them with you. Just smile. I'm not calling him my uncle. So what are my choices? Let's have a look. The first one is a legend about a king from a distant realm of sand dunes far away from here, and about his treacherous architects. People call it the ever-waiting city. I bought these parchments from a retired adventurer. Back then, I was but a young mercenary. I marked the second story with a bookmark. It's from a journal written by a traveling monk who used to study the southern tribes. He described a tribe that believes all beasts and humans are reborn at every sunrise. But since he was infamous for his lies, what we have here may be the only remaining copy of his work. The pages are much older than the cover. My daughter had rebound them some years back to protect them from further degradation. The last tale is... I'm not sure what to call it. I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's about a rich man who lived alone in the woods until he met a rather mysterious spirit. I heard this tale in a roadside inn during a freezing winter. I was supposed to copy it to parchment, but I've never found the right moment. Go ahead, pick one. So, do we want to hear about the ever-waiting city, the monk's journal, or the tale about the rich hermit? What do we want, guys? Let me know. The ever-waiting city? It does sound very intriguing. kings and architects sound promising. It's all yours. Not many souls can survive in the desert, yet human stubbornness gave birth to many sand tribes and sand cities. The Eastern Fire Empire used to be the greatest of them all, until it was ruled by Aldahab the Wealthy. Oh, we don't even get the full story. Rude. Tempting us with such things. Try to summarize the tale. The most important bits will do. I ain't sure what to think. At least the plot was easy to follow. I'll go step by step. It takes place in the distant south, in a barbarian empire I've never heard of before. Why would you use that word? Which one? Barbarian? That's what the elders call them. Though I guess they don't say it to their faces, I mean. They're polite to Perga. Soldiers sent by Bertus to guard the villages ought to be talented fighters, though some of them are simply too green to patrol the woods. Perga's young and inexperienced, but people like her. And Brachus. Brachus is a veteran who's been rewarded by being sent to a small, calm village. I've traveled with many southerners, both before and after they invaded the 10 cities. I fought them too. If they're barbarians, what are we? We pillaged their lands for centuries, but still lost to them in a fair war. I was born years after the invasion. I just haven't thought about it all that much. I guess life went on, but we'll have a chat about it later on. The southern tribes deserve our respect, both as warriors and as people, as foes and friends. Back to the ever-waiting city. This king, Aldahab, ruled his nation during its golden age. The scribe doesn't specify if the king was really responsible for this prosperity. This omission likely wasn't a mistake. He aimed to raise a city of beauty and comfort and honored it with his own name, the Golden City. He gathered the best architects and asked them to bring his dream into reality. The planning took 12 moons and the construction another 12 years. There were dozens of artisans and hundreds of builders, and they all lived inside the houses they were making. They started families, decorating their homes with gold and dragon bones, put stained glass in the windows, and made door handles from pearls and gems. The king bought their loyalty with feasts and gifts, and every time he came to visit, the sight delighted him. But as the builders were approaching the end of their task, they feared they'd lose the luxuries they'd grown used to, that they'd need to part ways with their friends, and that their children would lose their roots. They forgot how it was to see famines, plagues, and wars. There came a day when they gathered in the temple of their gods and talked about the future, but when the oldest architect took a hammer and crushed the nose of Loco, the spirit of health and healers. "What baffles you?" he asked. "A bandit took our tools and destroyed our sacred statues. We'll have to wait for the stone needed to fix the damage." Then he ordered them to write a letter to the king. After that day, the builders sabotaged their own creation any time the Golden City neared its perfect form. The roofs were falling, the walls crumbling, the treasures stolen. The king sought justice, hanging those he accused of betrayal, chasing bandits, and waging war against other kingdoms. But no matter his efforts, the city was always just a step away from completion. Maybe skip to the end. Decades passed, and the king's fortune slipped away. Even after his death, the hammers and chisels filled the golden streets with noise until a terrible drought fell upon the land, and the farmers reached for their sickles and axes. The rebellion took the Golden City by force, desperately carrying away all the alloys, gems, and bones. Most of the builders died defending their opulence, and the few who ran away spent their lives hiding among the commoners. Today, this place is but a shadow, shattered, empty, and waiting. The ever-waiting city. Very nice, Fable. To be honest, I assumed you'd stick to the most basic information. Telling it like a story felt more natural to me. So, how do you understand it? What was it all about? The king's vanity brought suffering to his people. The builder's greed led to their demise. Wealth is futile, it's better to seek virtue. What did we learn from this story? I don't necessarily think the king's vanity brought suffering on his people. He was vain. He asked a city to be built. They built it. I think that his generosity or manipulation with his wealth was what the problem was. The builders' greed absolutely led to their demise. Yes. Wealth is futile, and it's better to seek virtue. I don't know. Greed is futile. Having wealth does not necessarily mean that it's better. Having wealth is not necessarily futile. It's all in how you wield wealth that is important, I think. Yeah, I think the builders' greed led to their demise. The architects could have built their greatest work and moved on with their comfortable lives, but they were too afraid of losing their newfound luxuries. Their greed led to their downfall. It's a story about justice. Better explain this justice to the people who then died from famine, and why should they, from their afterlives, care about the fate of the builders? There was no happiness to find at the end of this tragedy. No matter if one had a kind or poisonous heart in their chest, it stopped beating. Shouldn't life be about something more than survival? Who can tell? Did you enjoy your time with this tale? I mean, I did. But then again, I am a person who seeks story in everything. So, my whole channel is about playing games with story. And here we are playing a game about a story. Well, 3 stories, really. This was great. Very much so. I'll think about it some more, but it was a great read. It's one of my favorites. I want to leave you with one more detail. The people who sold me this legend claim that the everlasting city has never been found. Yet apparently, during this golden age, kings spent their fortunes on alchemists and sorcerers who aimed to find the secret of eternal youth. Is that true? Is it true? I'm not sure. But there's a chance the builders used to be sorcerers, the king was a dynasty, and the city was a magical potion. We'll see each other the day after tomorrow, correct? I'm looking forward to it. Ask Vates to give you some time to practice on your own. I won't have much time to spare. I'm going to help Castus and Meadow with candles. A local farmer married to Castus. Like me, she used to be part of another tribe. She never skips an opportunity to ask travelers for news. But on the other hand, she never joins us during our prayers or rituals. She's so pretty. How convenient. For our lessons, we'll need a few tallow candles. Just tell them I don't need any of those fancy wax ones. I will. See you. Right. Whee! Spent the whole day with either locked in the stronghold or warning folks about the goblins, and I'm still not done. A village guard just a year older than me, she trained how to fight without much assistance from her family, having a lot of strength even as a kid. She's so tall I can hide in her shadow. How bad's the situation? Where are we? Fairly bad. We just discussed it at dinner with my father. If you were to describe this great hunter without mentioning his flaws or small shell, he'd resemble the heroes from legends. With a house filled with animal trophies, his large family has overcome many obstacles. There's a few dozen of them. Oh, there we are on the bench. I blended in with the cabinet. So, no more gatherings at the Big Rock, huh? Our favorite spot right next to Arata's house. It's a bit difficult for me to get there on wheels, but it's a quiet place. And it's green. May want to stick to the walls for the next few days. At least you won't have to wash mud off your cart. Not afraid of busy work. Since all I do is help others with tiny tasks, I don't mind a few annoyances. Gets rough when it rains, doesn't it? Yeah, ain't so easy to ride uphill even on dry ground, but better than that than sticking to the cobblestone. Kind of weird the elders don't try to pave the paths. Would make your life easier. Ooh, there are always excuses. Fates tried to speak out for me, but there are always excuses. Hard to get the stone nowadays. We lack strong arms that we could put to work. Maybe next year, but for now, we've got the wall to fix. A bit harsh. The worst one was a harpy will swallow him sooner or later, a waste of effort. Shit, who said that? I shouldn't say. A merchant from Bertros. She visited us at least 3 times a year, bartering for our crops, parchment, and honey. She seems kind enough, and the villagers trust her. Argentina. I see. It could be worse. At least we aren't locked in the village yet. Other tribes won't do as much as leave the main gate without a blade. But you did get chased by a werefolk that one time. It's been 2 times, actually. Yep, same one. Got cut in the left shoulder the first time, came back still wounded. I never heard about it. What can I say? I'm getting used to the risk. It's nothing in comparison to my plans. If everything goes right, I'll take on much riskier tasks in the future, as a bard. Travels, crossbows, beast sightings. You may be the bravest of us all, despite your small shell. I still got a few years to grow. Most bards stay as far away from combat as they can anyway. As long as they can see what's going on. Wouldn't it be easier for you to stick to Bertus and learn the stories there? You could pay the adventurers for their tales. As if they know what's interesting about them. All they talk about are the beasts, bandits, coins, treasure, nothing about how they feel, who they met, the harshness of their journey, how they changed over the seasons. So you mean they talk about the good stuff? I mean always the same stuff. Got some news for you. I'm hearing some promising glee in your voice. Guards told me they'd help me get a job in the city. No way, with Vina? She and her younger sisters used to be my closest friends. She's a valued huntress who always dreamed of wealth and adventures. Those are simple wishes, but at least she's honest about them. I like her. Nah, nothing like that. Or maybe a bit like that. They want me to join the army. Pretty big deal. Would be. Not that I'm gonna take the job, though. Whew, you scared me for a moment. But still, why not? Liking it here, simple as that. Don't you want something, I don't know, more? Like what? New people? You'd get to know new folks, and not just farmers and hunters. Farmers and hunters are my best friends, thank you. I'd sooner get looked down upon by the rich folk than get invited to join them at the table. What about some coin? You'd get good pay, could enjoy some nice food and drinks for once. Won't say no to a cup of mead, but I don't care about that as much. As long as I ain't hungry, I'm fine. A family? Even if you were to hang out only with the regular folk, you'd meet some new souls. Maybe someone you could start a family with? Nothing wrong with the way it works right now. Once I want to have a baby, I'll hang out with the fellows from the nearest villages, see if we enjoy our time together, talk about starting a family. Ain't like I'm desperate to meet someone right away. More likely someone will visit us first. What about safety? Coins would give you more than comfort. They'd protect you too. But for a price. I talked with a few folks about it. Cities ain't free. Army ain't free. Soldiers beg to be sent to places like Windy Meadow. Ain't kiddin'. Adventure? You'd finally get out of here, see the world, experience an adventure or two. When was the last time you saw me bored? Got stuff to do and always will. Won't matter if I'm here or anywhere else. Fame? The things you've got to do here ain't something worthy of a story. Have you never dreamed of being a hero? Would rather face a long, quiet life than a loud death. You bit into this like a Saurian fable. Let her be. It's alright, but didn't know you hate this place so much. Oh no, nothing like that. It's just... I've known for so long that I want to be a bard, and even more so, I want the life that goes with it. I'm young now, but after another few years, I don't want this place to choke me. Meh. Most days are the same, but I've got my food, a warm inn, friends. Life's good. But what did I scare you with, Lita? You're one of the last few souls here that don't annoy me. Good to know you're staying. Ain't you a flatterer? I like our neighbors. They're friendly and don't hold grudges for long. But they make stupid mistakes, just saying. And learn from them. Won't get much more from the other tribes. Some tense moments at home again? They hardly ever end nowadays. Innie can't wake up, mother needs washing and feeding, father is either in the woods at the inn or talking to Priest Vase. Hastia still gets into her sad days. And Vina is... let's just say she doesn't help. And how are you holding up? I'm good. Hopeful. Unlike dear Fema here, I ain't gonna take things as they are. I'll either fix them or make them change. Kind of why I hope you're going to work with Stabby after all. It's good having you around, Fable. I don't think it would make me happy. I get it. I want to make chairs, cut wood and all. I don't want to just be. Still, an opportunity. It is. But it ain't the same as storytelling. Is that really the only path for you? Either you get to be a bard or live unhappily? Quite the weight on your shoulders. My parents died to give me this chance. You see, it's because it's hard to explain it. I bet. Don't worry though, you're not on your own. Well, that was a productive conversation with friends. They're back again. But you know the relief won't last. What a great night to run. To jump. To fall. To rise. But after all this, you wait for the next part always comes. You can't escape it. They want you to do something, but offer no explanations. Should I enchant them with a made-up story? I need to make them accept the true me. Fable is clearly dreaming. I need to make them accept the true me. Each word brings pain, but also comfort. You're getting closer to the shapes, yet can't help but fear rejection. You're alone even before the crowd leaves you. I shouldn't be here. But then again, I am. Survivor's guilt is rough. Ooh, where are we now? Ah, the big apple tree. Ever since the first settlers built their small hamlet around an apple tree, we have made sure to have its offering growing in this very spot. Its offspring growing in this very spot. I rest in its shadow on sunny days, observing my neighbors. Fable! Just hoping to see you. Hello, neighbor. Picking up supplies. Just a bag of groats and 2 trouts from Limos. He says he's been eating fish for every meal he's had in the last 4 years, but he also says he killed a gray saurian with just his paddle. The fisher repeats himself over and over again, but at least he's kind. Just boring. The tribe trusts the mayor to lead them. Thanks to her, we get what we need from the city, both from trade and taxes. In times of crisis, she never loses her head, and while she always consults with Bates, they rarely agree on anything. Good to see that you're keeping yourself busy. Other youngsters are getting anxious, but life must go on. I assume you mean this thing about the goblins. Indeed, but don't worry, so far we've got it under control. It seems like this pack is more used to water than fields and clear land. Even if they attack us, we're going to be ready. Latro plans to flush them out before they settle in for good. On the good side, if the troll assault wasn't enough to inspire you, you may have another opportunity now. Rather embellish my tale a bit, but safely. Or maybe the troll story is a bit short. I'd rather embellish my tale a bit, but safely. I'd rather embellish my tale with a few made-up details without seeing others risking their lives and health. At least if it comes to violence, we've got you to make something good out of it. Well, I should change my boots and examine the walls. I wish you both good luck. See you at the Tasty Claw after dusk, Ivolo. I'll be there. I wanted to ask you for a favor. I'm listening. You're coming to the wedding, right? I'm helping with the preparations in the morning, remember? Just wanted to be sure. The problem is we won't have much entertainment. The harp player we were counting on broke his arm on his last job. I ain't that good with my flute. The tunes I play assist my stories. They won't do much for the dancers. That's what I've heard, but your dad told me you're a pretty decent storyteller. He did. Would you like to perform for maybe half an hour for our guests? It's still more than 10 days away. You'll have time to prepare yourself. I'd be honored. Not for free, of course, or I'll think about it. I have a feeling that our dad asked for a favor. He is one of the richest men in town, so it's not like he can't afford to pay us. I don't think the I'll think about it answer is really us, because honestly, we want to be a storyteller. We have to get practice telling our stories in front of crowds, or people at the very least. This is a perfect opportunity for us to further our skill and learn how to deal with stage fright. But if we don't get paid to tell our stories, how can we be a bard? Yeah, not for free, of course. And this is a paying gig, correct? Oh, obviously. But this time you'll earn yourself a dragon bone, not just food scraps. This is quite the opportunity. My friends whisper to many ears in Birchus. And if you were to make a bad impression, worry not. Those pricks don't expect anything of worth to come from such a tiny village. Aside from food, maybe. Relax and do your best. More like get anxious right here, right now. Thanks. Would be worse if I were to surprise you right before your performance. I guess. I won't keep you anymore. Grouts and trouts, you said. Tell the traders I'll cover the cost. Buy yourself a few prunes, too. I ain't confident Bates would be happy about such gifts. Nonsense. Treat it like a gift basket for a priest. Just stay away from the mead. Thank you. Though I should hurry now. I'm expected to work at the candles today. Watch out for the hot tallow. So now we are down here. Castus and Mita may be the richest farmers in the village, but they're also expected to chip in on our tax duties more than the others. They paid for the watchtowers placed around the village. Right on time. Hi! Afternoon. Am I late? Not at all, Fable. We just started earlier. Make yourself comfortable. Aunt Nalia mentioned she'd also need a few cheaper candles. Vates, on the other hand, needs the yellow ones for the wedding rites. We'll manage. I'm working with beeswax. It needs a bit of care. You'll handle the towel. The tallow. She's Louise. You'd think I'd be able to read by now. And we're preparing some nice cotton wicks. Pudens, a brute and a simpleton. Whenever I work for Castus and Mita, I hope he'll stay away, even though he's 2 years younger than me. He towers over me and rests his hands on his sides to look even larger. Can't the priest use the cheap candles? No one will smell them outside at the wedding. It may rain, you know. And that's just how it goes. Before you enter this new path, you spend more than you need to. Show that you're not afraid of the future. Still, the stench of tallow is quite something, so Fable will get good pay. Start whenever you're ready. Cheeky monkey. Cheeky monkey. But yeah, beeswax versus tallow candles. Very interesting. How are the book lessons going? Oof. I'm sick of them. They're boring. I'm repeating the same tasks every day, and it still may take me a year or so before I'm done. I have to learn the language of the tablets. And all sorts of weird signs Scribe used to write less. I knew it would end up like this. Don't be like that, love. Fable should be proud, chasing knowledge like that. Did you know Castus can write his name? Yeah, you told me, yeah. You mentioned it at the start of winter. Oh, right. Let's reciprocate the small talk. And how's your farm? Are the boars gone? So far, so good. Nothing to brag about. Pudens helps a bit. The fields smell nice. Maybe after spring, the sheep droppings ruin the air a bit. They're good for dirt fights. Don't even start again, boy. We'll start selling grain to the city folk, not just honey. A few more years and we'll save enough dragons to buy us a few donkeys. Then we'll breed them and sell them to the other villages. Pudens like animals. Would be his new job. I see. Still planning to be a bard? Folks are getting curious. I don't know. Maybe. I have yet to decide. I don't think I've got enough charm. Come on now, your stories ain't half bad. Thanks, but most of them don't belong to me. I just repeat older tales. Ain't that what being a bard is all about? Gathering stories, making them stay with us? I hope not. I'd be happy to listen to a story. Now? That would be fun. Candles are boring. I'll do my best. I mean, no time like now for practice, right? I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best. I'm completely unprepared. I guess I'll have to improvise. Well, let me think. Our tale starts in the home of our hero, an exotic castle, or the middle of a battle. Where should we start our tale, guys? What would be interesting to tell? Feel free to sit back and relax, lurkers. We'll get to the story in a moment. And the exotic castle? Okay. An exotic castle. Some say that the sand there is hot enough to burn your skin. But our hero was forced to leave by... a prophecy? The vicious bandits, or a plague? We've all heard about the plagues. So let's go with the plague. The plague. Only one of them was brave enough to look for the cure. After the long journey, the hero had to oppose the grave enemy, an undead wizard. Many believed she was seeking vengeance. To save everyone, the hero had to face an impossible task. No one else was brave enough to try. And in the end, as a storyteller, you always keep him guessing. It was just the beginning. It was only the first of many great adventures. You take a deep breath and turn towards your audience. It didn't really happen, right? Correct. Nah, I made it all up. Knew it. Doesn't matter. We had fun, right? Good job, Fable. The hero met their demise. The task was impossible, of course. The main killer is, after all, overconfidence. We just made up a tale. That's all. That's all? Just fun? But I tried my best. Huh? Not sure what to say. Heard better stories, heard worse. I had a good time. 'Twas all right. You'd be a great bard, I'm sure. Almost done here. We're getting short on cotton after all. Work went fast today, thanks to our brave storyteller. For the final set of wicks, we'll put some hemp to use. Come, Pudins, I'll show you how. Huh. Why are you... I said wake up and get dressed. I'll grab a few things from upstairs. Alright. It's so bright. Is this... Fire! Bandits! Possible. Haven't been outside yet. Stay focused. We need to help the others. We gotta help the others. Exactly. Just stay with me. I've got your back. If everything's lost, we'll regroup here, then leave to warn the other tribes. I'll prepare us for the journey. Now, follow me. I hope you got some sleep. It's gonna be a long night. What's the situation? Our forest garden is shrinking with each breath. The beasts won't forgive us. We're doomed. The wrath of the herds occurs anytime humans take more than nature can endure. Then, the animals join forces to strike back, slaughtering any tribe they can reach. That's why we grow with caution, cutting trees and clearing paths sparingly. We've actually seen what happens when the wrath of the herds happens. It's pretty bad. What about Salvia or Ludi or Arata's family? Is Arata's family safe? Pudin says old Salvia is a witch, but Vates told me to never repeat such a thing. She's an herbalist, that's all, he said, and took care of you when you lost your legs. People don't talk about her much, often saying our forest garden ain't as safe as it looks. Old Salvia is training Ludi as our next herbalist. Every 5 days she walks around Windy Meadow and asks everyone how they're feeling, even though she doesn't take much pleasure in talking with us. Bates holds her in high regard and tells me to ignore her grimaces. Dad's with them. He'll keep them safe. We ought to focus on the village. Let's gather all the buckets we have at our disposal and choke the flames before they reach our side of the river. Why ain't Nalia here? Anyone seen her? I knocked at her door. She told me to leave her alone. Fable, go check on her and bring her to the inn just in case. What if she refuses? And what if she refuses? You know how stubborn she gets. And try to keep her safe. Keep the door locked. The animals could come at any moment now. Auntie, are you there? Nalia! I'm coming in. If it's even open. Thank the right. A plum tincture? Wake up, Nalia, please. We've got to run. Huh? Come again? Ah, it's you. Are we going? Yes, to the inn. Get up on your feet. Are we going to die? We may if you don't get up. One can only dream. Ah, shit. Day 4. Well, I think this is where we're going to leave it. Because otherwise I will not be able to read tomorrow. I would like to replace this. Thank you. But thank you guys for joining me for Windy Meadow, a Roadwarden tale. This is very much a bit of nostalgia for everyone who's been on my channel for a while, because Roadwarden is one of the games that I established myself with, and I really enjoyed that. My community really enjoyed it, so having more of that world again feels really good, but it is a lot of reading for me, so thank you guys for joining me for that. I am Mayrin Althea Tover, and I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time, so if you would like to see the rest of the tales from Windy Meadow, please join me again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Call me May, and, you know, put on notifications here and over on Blue Sky so that you get the reminder of when I go live. You can lurk about in my live streams. You can always poke me on Blue Sky and prompt me for whatever you'd like to talk about one of our live streams happenings. But either way, you'll get the notifications that I go live. I also have a YouTube channel where you can see the original playlist of Roadwarden and all that we went through there. So if any of the terminology or the things that we as a community get delighted over or something that you missed out on, you can go back and have a nostalgic look for Roadwarden in all of its glory. I will be adding Windy Meadow to that playlist as well, so if you've missed anything from today, it will be there as soon as I can get it up. If you subscribe and ring the bell, you'll know when today's VOD goes live. Last but not least, we raid our friends in this Twitch community, and if I don't have any friends streaming right now, which I believe I do, we go make new ones. So let's go see what friends I have on today, and if I have no friends, we will go make new ones. You know, Psycho Phoenix, aka PP, is playing Detroit Become Human, which is a fantastic game that I have never played, but I've seen a lot on, and so let's go check out how she's doing in that particular story. She is a Scottish streamer who is quite sassy, but is also such a sweetheart, and I hope that you guys give her all the love from me. So have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever day it happens to be, whether you're live with me here on Twitch or over on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And I hope to see you guys next time I go live, which will be tomorrow for those of you who are live with me right now. Take care. Until then, we raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.